it working? Yeah, it is!
Hey! Now everyone knows we use VLC.
Hey! We made it! We did it! Yay!
Yeah. We're here.
We have
arrived.
Can I revive the cast with a Phoenix down?
Oh! Jack Wolfhard. Unfortunately, Phoenix Downs don't work on plot devices.
Oh, this is one of those Ares Gainsborough moments. Spoilers for Final Fantasy VII.
Whoa, you can't have spoilers.
Oh my god, that game comes out in like 2 months. How are you spoiling it?
I'm super excited. Welcome, everyone, to... Let me make sure I'm getting this right, because it's a little different for me to say this now. Episode 1 of the Rocket Punch Show.
Yes.
We did it. Round of applause for everybody.
Yeah.
Round of applause.
All the work.
For everyone tuning in via Twitch, we hope you enjoyed the lovely little trailer that we put together.
All the social media posts throughout the week.
I know, very cryptic message. Like, what the hell is going on over at Rocket Punch?
BlackRock, thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. See, Leon, this is why you got to come in early so you can catch what happened at the beginning. No, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and joining us here for Rocket Punch 4.0 2020. We're going to talk a whole bunch about what that means, details. We're going to answer you guys' questions for anybody in chat. If you have questions for us about the video you just saw or any specifics that we can do best to answer to you guys here. Oh, I didn't update that, so I'm going to have to do that. Let me jump into the housekeeping first, then we're going to chat. We're going to spend a little campfire, a little fireside chat here about Rocket Punch 4.0, guys. So, yes, as Leon LeGray found out just a minute ago, if you don't know, this is the Rocket Punch Show. Your southern source for all things gaming, geek, and more. You'll be able to listen to the show live as we record the show each and every Sunday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on twitch.tv/Rocket Punch Live. If you missed the show there, you can also listen to the show via podcast services around the globe. Shocker, if you've already subscribed to the Rocket Punch cast, guess what? That's being converted to the Rocket Punch Show. So you just stay subscribed. You're going to get all the new episodes anyway.
Can I get the doot? What's this? Rocket Punch cast is evolving.
It only took us like 4.5 years.
Yeah, that's all it took. Of course, guys, you would be able to go to rocketpunchgo.com. That is still under construction a little bit. We've got to click some buttons to kind of get the base main site up and rolling for you guys, which should be up in the next 24 hours. We'll talk about that in just a minute as well. Of course, guys, as we always do, you want to rate and review us on your podcast services if you're listening via podcast services or if you're watching via video. We would love it if you threw us some bits, help support us on Twitch and video or YouTube, because we'll be posting this video on YouTube as well. I'm hearing that. I don't even know who that is.
Lupine Furman.
Oh, he's hosting us. Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
Before I always want to get this out of the way, guys. If you want to be a part of the Rocket Punch community, head over to our Discord channel. We've got a lot of cool updates we'll talk about here that we didn't talk about in the video for Rocket Punch 4.0. And then also, guys, we want to give a special shout out if you're supporting us on patreon.com/RocketPunchLive. We want to thank you guys so much for your support. Give a special shout out to our producers. So thank you very much to Chuck O, Joci M, Sam S, Jeremy M, Stephen S, and Tyler H. Thank you guys so much for your support.
And if you want your name on that list,
yes,
we just went over in the video, the Platinum tier is open on Patreon. You can get your name or your business, your channel, your whatever, shouted out every single episode.
And not even just every episode, but every piece of content.
Everything.
So episodes, videos, all that stuff. We're going to talk about it. Let's talk about it right now. So if you're coming in right now, you just missed the big reveal of
Rocket Punch cast is dead.
Rocket Punch 4.0 for 2020.
It's dead.
It starts off with Rocket Punch cast.
Killed the Rocket Punch cast in cold blood. We took it out to the farm.
Wait, did we old yeller it?
We old yellered the Rocket Punch cast. If you look down there right now, it says episode 1 of the Rocket Punch Show.
You know the sad thing is, we didn't tell anybody else, but by the way, that also means Tank and Spank and Southern Geek are both also on that same
know, sometimes,
we just had to lead them
misery
all
loves
out.
company. And
complete sidebar. Jack Wolfhard in chat says, I punched a rocket once. You know the Saturn V one, it wasn't as satisfying as I thought, though. You got to go plus Ultra and go even further beyond in actually.
Yeah, you have to become All Might and Goku at the same time to be able to get through that.
It's not as hard as you might think, but I digress. No, so number one, for everybody who's tuning in and watching in, we revealed that video. If you guys have any questions on what we revealed there, let us know in chat. We're going to go through kind of just the quick rundown of that. So number one, the Rocket Punch cast is dead.
It's dead.
Long live the Rocket Punch Show.
The Rocket Punch Show. The next generation live interactive entertainment right here on twitch.tv/Rocket Punch Live.
Oh, yes.
Engaged.
Yes.
Activations. Marketing. Phrases.
But it was a decision that I remember. When did we talk about this, Will?
Funny enough, we were walking in the Straight to Ale parking lot.
That's
Campus
right.
805,
Okay, that was.
and that's when we made the decision.
All kinds of fun things happen in the Straight to Hell parking lot.
IJDM gets it. Huzzah! Long live Rocket Punch Cast. Yeah, Jack Wolfart, we were in your neck of the woods,
Show.
sir.
He said show.
Show. Oh, show. Yeah.
Oh man, old habits die hard.
But we were sitting there and chatting and really just kind of evaluating what we wanted to do for 2020 and looking at our show and what we had. I think we looked and you weren't there, Jack Wolfart. Mirage Leonardo says Rocket Punch Cast is dead. Michael Scott, no, please God, no. For all my Office Space fans out there, I get that one. That was good. But no, we kind of really looking at our podcast and audio portfolio. What?
What's the procedure? What's the procedure? The cast is canceled.
We really looked and decided, you know what? Let's. A lot of you guys have been subscribed and listened to the Rocket Punch Cast. If you haven't, on your podcast service of choice, you can find it anywhere,
including now iHeartRadio.
Thank you, Lupin Furman. We got it on there for you. We shook the sabers at him, but we got it on there. But it was really, we really decided, let's focus all our stuff. Let's focus back on gaming. Like gaming is our main thing. But also, we had really had so much fun throughout the last couple of years, like streaming the show live on Twitch, interacting with you guys, having that interaction with you when we do the show, that we said, well, it's no longer a podcast anymore. This is a show.
Yes.
This is a full-on show, so let's call it what it is.
Yep.
And call it the Rocket Punch Show. So that's what it is now, the Rocket Punch Show.
Yep.
Some format stuff has changed. We've shifted some topics and stuff around. With the Rocket Punch Show, we're going to get you guys the news and the topics more quickly. But at the end of the show is when we're going to add our table talk, and that's when we're really going to just dive in and talk about games and whatever we want to talk about with you guys. One of the new elements is with our table talk at the end. We're actually going to get a lot of conversations out of you guys, or hope to, and hear what your guys' thoughts are on some games and our topics more than we have in the past. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
The Rocket Punch Show is great, but there's tons of more stuff. Tons more content that we've added.
Yes.
In.
What was some of the
We've got to go... okay, listen.
What was some of the stuff we announced here?
I'm skipping straight to one. The one that I'm in, because that's the way I do things. So, Cam reached out to me and said...
Thank you, Arutu. I'm so sorry. We're going crazy here. It's episode 1. We had a big deal. We're just having fun.
So Cam reached out to me and asked, "Hey, remember that episode that we did of the Patreon, or the Patreon bonus episode we did about the Xbox versus PlayStation 4?" And immediately I was like, "Mm-hmm." And you basically were like, "Hey, let's do that as a show, like as a monthly show." And I was like, didn't even think about it. Like I'm like. Cut to Morty, you son of a bitch. I'm in. I was 100% in. So, of course, I'm talking about Console Wars. It is a brand new show by me and Cameron. where we are going to dive in every single month and talk about what Microsoft's doing, what Sony's doing, and I think we're going to take like a strategy approach, like what are their strategic moves, like what are they talking about as far as games, as far as platforms, as far as services, and each month we're going to decide who we think did a better job on performance that month with their strategy, and kind of crown a monthly winner for the console wars, and it's super fun. It's super fun. We've recorded the January episode. They should be going live for patrons very soon.
If you're supporting us at our, which we'll get to the new tiers and we'll talk about Patreon for a minute in just a sec here, but our Silver Plus tier or higher, Console Wars Episode 1 is available for you right now. You can actually go over to Patreon
right now.
and listen to it. If you're not supporting us on Patreon, don't worry. You guys will get the show next week. We'll roll it out to you then.
It's good. It's chunky. It is a chunky show.
I was actually on the lower ball. I thought it was like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I was a little shocked it wasn't as long.
What? Nobody said anything yet. I was thinking to myself, I was like, this is the perfect year for console wars because we've got new consoles coming at the end of this year, and every step along the way is going to be chess move after chess move after chess move. It's going to be bloody. It's already bloody. The first blood was spilt at the Game Awards, and we are.
Lupin Furman saying, at least it's not moist. Now, we got a highlight here. Do you mind if I read that real quick?
Go ahead.
All right. So, Mirage Leonardo is saying, heard a rumor that we might be getting Mario Kart 9 for the Switch this year. What new racers or tracks would you like to see if it's true?
Ooh, boy.
I have a question. Can we just stop calling it Mario Kart and make it Nintendo Kart and throw all the characters at it?
But Mario Kart, I like that, but Mario Kart has the branding.
Seth's about to explode.
No.
You still keep Mario Kart?
There's a story I once heard from, I believe it was Drew Scanlon told this story.
Okay.
He said that he was sitting at lunch with some executive from EA, and the discussion of yearly sports games came up, and someone at the table was like, have you guys ever thought about doing it was Peter Molyneux at EA.
Okay.
He said, have you guys ever thought about doing like a yearly pass that you let people like DLC upgrade and then just have one copy of like one version of Madden that be it? And literally, Peter Molyneux said, you go wash your mouth out. That is what I'm going to say to you now. You go wash your mouth out after saying that anything that is a Mario Kart is going to be named something other than Mario Kart. It is Mario Kart. You can't change that. You can add all that, and the thing is, they've already added all the Nintendo characters in. So, like, why, like?
Jack Wolfhart in chat says you can't trust anything Peter Molyneux says.
That's true. You're right.
First off, Liam LeGray, yes, that stick is better than bacon.
Is that a?
It is a
the reference.
Look. All I'm saying is that log had a child.
That log had a child.
Oh God.
You know the stick. You've seen the new stick.
Star Wars bad lip ratings. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Actually, speaking of Leon LeGray, another question he asked in here. Gotcha. Is the show still? But it's still going to have the show's recording via iTunes and all podcasting services. Yes, we're still going to have the show. It's still in doing this there will no longer be multiple podcast feeds for shows. The Rocket Punch show is our main feed where the Rocket Punch cast used to be. We will have all the Rocket Punch show episodes live on there. We will also have Console Wars each month when we get a new episode. That will show up on the same feed. The other show that will be coming on that feed as well monthly is 3D, Dice, Decks, and Design. So a lot of people were excited about this. So another thing, I'll reach out to Seth. Mm-hmm. I also reached out to Carla Kopp. And if you don't know who she is a friend of the show. We did a creator spotlight about her and Weird Giraffe Games, which is her board game company. And I reached out to her. Actually, I went over and we played board games one day, and I was like, we've had these ideas. We would really love like working with you on some content, because she approached us and like, hey, we should work together on some content. And we finally kind of nailed down and have a general idea of what we're going to do. If you don't know Carla, she goes everywhere, and she is a very busy bee. She is in a convention this weekend as we speak, and I think she may get home for like a day or two and go to another convention.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you own and operate a board game design and development studio, you are constantly flying everywhere.
You got to make moves, man. You got to make those
Hashtag
moves.
hustling.
That's right. But the reason for that show, so Dice, Decks, and Design the first episode probably won't be until March 2020. Reason is that Carla and I, because of her schedule, we've got to align up when she'll actually be here, or figure out some way so that we can get a recording down for that.
So BlackRock is actually asking what kind of talk would be on 3D.
What kind of talk would be on 3D? So, Dice, Decks, and Design, the big talk in here, because Carla likes it, there's going to be a lot of chatter about board game design and kind of looking behind the scenes of not only like some of the processes she goes through in making games, because like half of her house are board games or prototypes or all sorts of crazy stuff. We're going to dive a whole lot into that. I'm sure we're going to dive into a lot of other games and games that we like and kind of what we like about them. Offer recommendations for board games that we think you guys would enjoy. Kind of get into the nitty gritty of that. It's not going to be like, hey, we're going to review a board game each month, but we're really going to dive into not only the design of board games, but also kind of just our personal favorites and kind of what we've liked and why we liked a lot of those. That's going to be the gist of 3D, as we're eloquently calling it here at Rocket Punch. So, but March 2020, that is when we're scheduling it for. As we get closer to that date, we'll keep you guys updated with an exact date on when episode 1 for 3D is going to go live for you there.
Rocket Punch Show.
Rocket Punch Show.
Console Wars.
3D.
Yep. Dice, Decks, and Design.
Yep.
What else we got?
Oh boy. So talk about some video stuff. Will.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of taking over some of the YouTube stuff since Cam is taking some of the audio stuff. So we've got one thing that we're keeping, which is Playgrounds. So it's our no muss, no fuss. Here's gameplay without all the extra garbage. Enjoy and let us know what you think of the game. Then the other series is where I and friends of the Rocket Punch group here will be getting together and we will be playing in a mature-rated, not for children stream, or not a stream, but it's VOD. It's highlights of all of our gameplay. And the idea behind it is disorderly conduct. We're professional morons. Enjoy the show, but please be advised. There's going to be coarse language.
Not safe for work.
Yes. We do have it flagged, so you have to sign in with YouTube, and you have to be 18 plus to be able to view it.
Yep.
Because that is one of those things where I don't want kids stumbling across that. But it's called disorderly conduct. And if you're a patron, there's actually some phone wallpapers I've uploaded in our Discord.
They're really cool. I've got hold on. Let
Jack Wolfhart, what the heck are you on about?
I have updates. I'll deal with them later. I can't show them to you now, but they're really awesome. We talked about game reviews.
Yeah.
Very much stressed that was based on your guys' input. We had a survey last summer.
It was right after the Comic and Pop Culture Expo. We were handing out essentially QR codes. Hey, give us feedback. Let us know what you think of our content. Yada yada. And one of the biggest things that people requested we bring back were video game reviews. And so that is coming back.
Coming back, baby.
And the big thing there is we're starting off with Kakarot. Dragonball Z Kakarot. So I will be doing a written and video review. And you'll see that coming here in the next couple weeks.
We'll also stay tuned. We're going to be talking about Kakarot later on in our table talk at the end of the show. So stay tuned.
We're bringing in a resident Dragon Ball expert besides myself.
Yep.
Because he's further in the game than me.
So we got the 3 podcasts. We got the video stuff taken care of.
Yeah.
I have a question. You said a resident Dragon Ball expert.
Yes.
What would you call a person who is an adept Resident Evil expert? Would they be a Resident Evil expert? Sounds a little weird. Our Resident Evil?
No.
Oh God, I don't know about that one.
I think I just broke the show.
You did.
Mission accomplished. Episode 1.
Hang on. Resident Capcom Zombie Game Guru.
You know what? You just fixed it because in Japan it's named Biohazard. So they would be our resident Biohazard expert.
There you go.
Joci M in chat says Resident Squared.
Oh, that's
Resident
even
Squared.
better.
Resident Squared.
Even better.
Is that a new show? Resident Squared? Or Resident Evil fan podcast? Or Resident Squared?
Maybe. You don't know.
No.
We're crazy like that. What else?
I want you to know I would 100% be on a Resident Evil podcast. I would love that.
I mean, there's probably
I
going
would
to be an episode dedicated
I would
to it.
cosplay as every character
At the
throughout
same time.
the course of it.
At the same
the
time. I'm just trying to imagine you as Mr. X.
Yeah, no, I could pull off Mr. X. I could do it.
see it.
I could do
see
it.
I could do it. The redesign. I want everybody to know there's a lot of work put into it. Like, you guys, the site isn't up yet, but definitely want to give a special shout out to this guy, Seth, our designer, who put a lot of hard work into our brand new website. Like we said, you guys should see this. If you're listening to the archive of this on podcast services, it should be live now. But all of the new content, artwork, the website, all that stuff. He even gave us guidelines on how to brand our content to keep it similar. So if you're watching on Twitch, the Rocket Punch Live panel's at the bottom, and kind of what Rocket Punch Live looks like now. The Rocket Punch Show, all that stuff is based on this guy's input and feedback. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Very much.
You're welcome.
It was very, very awesome. And we will continue pimping him out. If you need help with your UI or UX needs, have questions about logos, graphics, or design, or anything like that, HelloSethTurner.com. That's the place you want to go.
That's it.
Chat with this guy. Get his input on stuff. He will steer you in the right direction.
Yep.
Yes.
Speaking of Rocket Punch Live, if people are watching us via Twitch, so another big announcement. It was a cool announcement. So Rocket Punch Live got a rebrand as well. We added a bunch of cool new stuff to Rocket Punch Live here on Twitch. The two big ones are probably going to be the channel points. They are now implemented. If you guys are watching via Twitch, you can actually click the channel points button at the bottom of your chat window and actually see what some of those point values are.
Channel points are such a generic name, though. If only there was a cooler name for
That's
currency gained by watching and spent to interact. Something that would, I don't know, provide propulsion for the enjoyment. Some kind of fuel that one might use.
Rurutu says exposure bucks.
Exposure bucks.
I like that name. That's cool. But there's a better one. Well, what's that name again?
Jack Wolfhard actually just said it. Rocket Fuel.
Rocket Fuel.
And yes, we are using Rocket Fuel
Rocket
as
Fuel.
the name for our channel points.
And you're accruing it right now as
Yes,
you
you
watch.
yes.
Giving everyone a quick rundown of channel points and Rocket Fuel by you guys just
Brondo.
God.
It's got what plants crave. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
It's a night of inside jokes.
When how the Rocket Fuel will work, guys, or the channel points. All you guys have to do is watch our stuff. If you're watching our streams, you're joining us in chat. If you are helping us out, I think if you throw bits, any activity you do in our Twitch chat is going to earn you Rocket Fuel continuously. And then when you get enough, you can go on that list and see the entire thing and actually pick what you want to spend. I think we have the interpretive dances on there.
Yep.
We highlight your message, which Mirage Leonardo just did in our Twitch chat. And we talked about this, and I was like, we're going to have this for at 5,000 points. You can actually donate that Rocket Fuel, and you will get a free month sub to our Twitch channel from us, absolutely free. So
On the house.
If you watch our content a fair amount, you could get Twitch subs for free. So something to think about there. What was I going to say? Even the Rocket Fuel was just such a brilliant idea. That was all Will, by the way. But and even
I did nothing.
You were talking about Rocket Punch Live.
That's Rocket Punch Live. And even the other thing as well, so people know, I think if you Google Twitch, you can find out more about channel points. But if you are a subscriber or a follower, you also get additional points. I think if you're a subscriber, you get double points.
Yes,
So-
you do. Yeah, 100%. Also, I got to read Jack Wolfhart's here. You got to have the rocket sauce to rock your effing socks off.
Oh,
There you go. I like that. Put that on a shirt.
God. So we got the 3 podcasts, the videos,
Yes.
Rocket Punch Live, the rebranding.
Yes.
There's 2 things I'm forgetting. Let's dive into the chunky one, then we'll dive into the fun one.
All right.
Isn't chunky fun?
It depends. Is it
can be.
Chonker's Pikachu
It can
or
be.
is it,
Listen, Chubby Bastard Pikachu is my Pikachu. That is my Pikachu. That's the real Pikachu. I don't want your marketing BS. Get it out of here. Chubby Pikachu right now.
Yeah,
Preferably with the yellow cheeks, because that card's a misprint apparently.
Oh,
Very
really?
valuable. Or some kind of story about that.
Old Chonkers is
I want to
He's
find
mine.
out about that
Listen,
one now.
Chubby Pikachu is my baby boy.
Our Patreon.
Yes.
For people who don't know, we actually we've had a Patreon for a while. I'll be honest. I think Will could probably concur with me as well. We haven't pushed it a lot. We've got a lot of crazy and cool plans that we want to do, and really sitting down and looking at our plans and what we wanted to accomplish, we realized that we're going to need a little bit more help if we want to achieve that. I want to get this right out of the gate right now to let everyone listening understand fully. If you don't want to support us on Patreon, don't. You're still going to get awesome, all of the new shows, all the awesome content you're going to get for free anyway if you don't want to support us. But for those people out there who do want to help us out, support us there, Patreon is there available for you. I'm not going to go into the huge spiel and rundown of Patreon. We've got, honestly, you can go to patreon.com/rocketpunch. That whole 5-minute segment of video that we updated that explains everything about our Patreon, the video's up on our Patreon site. You can also check it out on our YouTube page. So if you're interested and want to learn more about our Patreon, swing over to the site, check it out. The things I will definitely say on here is if you are interested, we have our Silver Plus membership, which is $3 a month. Mm-hmm. That is only through February. So that allows you to get everything in the Silver tier and then everything in the Gold tier, which Gold is $5 a month. So if you want to jump on that, get early access to Console Wars and Dice, Decks, and Design when it comes out. Also get a monthly bonus episode of the Rocket Punch Show. Then guess what? The Silver Plus tier might be the way for you if you're a new sub.
Yeah. Basically, you lock in the Gold member benefits, but you're only paying the Silver tier price. So you're but it's only available in February. So if you lock in this month, as long as you stay subscribed at this, what we're calling the Silver Plus tier, you will get those Gold benefits. Yes. But that tier will completely disappear at the end of February, so you have to start today.
It's limited to 25 subs.
25 subs.
So
get them while they're hot.
Also, awesome. Kim, they want you to make an OnlyFans and do Swole Patrol cam pics. Heads up.
I don't know if the world is ready.
Okay, we're making a new tier, the Diamond tier, that gets access to your secret Snapchat. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The secret Snapchat.
I don't know what you're talking
about. Secret Snapchat. Better be careful, though. Keep that shit off the books. IRS will find out.
I love Arutu's comment. This isn't a gaming podcast if you don't have X in the name. Rocket X Punch Show Experience. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm about to rebrand. Sorry.
Little X, big X, Rocket X, Punch X, something, 69, 420, big X, little X.
And wrapping up on our Patreon talk as well, guys, we talked about Silver Plus. The other big thing I want to talk about is for our Gold subscribers. So if you're subscribed at $5 a month at Gold, we're not forgetting you guys as well. If you subscribe or stay subscribed through the month of February, you will also be getting a free swag bag that we'll be sending to you guys. Probably once we get all the information and everything calculated at the end of February, we'll plan out and let you guys know when you'll get that. But it's got magnets, stickers, pins, and a whole lot more.
Hey Cam, read chat.
Oh God, get that no. Burn the chat.
All right, new tier beyond platinum, platinum plus, diamond plus.
Halo Atlantis.
Listen, this is the fans' request here. All right, now we are here as servants to the fans, to the listeners. If the fans need that type of content or product,
nobody wants that.
We need to provide that to them.
You know what? Here you go.
Oh, that's messed up.
There's Gamer Guy bathwater. Or it's water.
Gross,
I don't know.
Dude.
I don't know.
Spitting back into now.
That's gross.
Well, it's my water. Nobody's drinking out of it.
Hey, Rurutu wants post-workout sweaty bath towels, so you tell me.
Please, what is the thing? Move forward. I'm so done. I'm so done with this.
Reading our highlighted message here, Halo Atlantis says, "Let's it go, let's it go." Don't know what that is. You have to explain that one a little bit more for us, buddy. But no, we talked about Patreon, and then there was that one more thing, wasn't there?
Oh, Project Revolution.
Project Revolution. Wonder what that is.
I don't know. We'll have to find out sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe more around the Comic and Pop Culture Expo?
Maybe.
You know what? Let's wait till 2021.
This is them.
Yeah. You know what? That might be best. I don't know. We'll when we're ready to tell you guys about Project Revolution, we'll tell you guys about Project Revolution. We'll just leave it at that. We'll just leave it at that. I don't know. It might be a super secret fun project. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Is that it? Is that all the stuff we talked about?
What do you mean is that it? We're 57 minutes into the stream. Of course that's it. We've got so much stuff
But
coming.
we're only like 30 minutes into the show.
That's true. That's true.
Valid points across the board.
If you've got more questions or if there's something that was in the video that we didn't talk about, feel free to jump in chat. Let us know.
Yep.
However, this is the first episode of the Rocket Punch Show.
It is.
It can't just be about the Rocket Punch Show existing as a thing.
No, can't.
So you said something about new format.
New format. Yes, let's
Tell
go
us
to the
about
new
that.
format. So new format here. Basically, we're kind of rearranging some stuff around, but we're also I know Table Talk especially is getting expanded. So normally in the Rocket Punch cast, we did Table Talk first, then we did Topic of the Show, or then did news, then did Topic of the Show.
Yep.
Okay.
Table Talk's getting pushed to the end. And we're doing the news first, then our Topic of the Show, then Table Talk at the end. Why are we doing that? One of the big reasons for doing that is, especially with Table Talk, is, as I said at the top of the show, we really want to bring the show aspect here of Rocket Punch Show and sit down and talk with you guys a whole lot more about games and the stuff we talk about here as well, like the games that we play as well as some of the games you guys play, and just have the Table Talk is supposed to be a conversation about everyone at the table. That includes you guys watching via Twitch. And so by having it at the end, after we get done with our really in-depth, thought-provoking topics and the latest news from each week, we get to sit down at the table and just chat with you guys, answer questions that you guys have about us. So anytime you guys have questions for us, whether about us as gamers, us at Rocket Punch, anything, we'll answer them in Table Talk. And we'll talk about the games you guys are playing. We'll talk about the games we are playing there. So it's really kind of a communal thing we wanted to build because we just enjoyed the live aspect of the show so much. We wanted to kind of shift that around and make that its own.
And based on what I understand, if you use the channel points to highlight your message in Twitch chat during the Table Talk, it's kind of like when you're at a wedding and someone does the ding, 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 ding with the fork on the glass, right? And everyone pays attention to you for that moment. So you can kind of boost your post in chat to forward presence.
I guess it should also be mentioned as well, the channel points work for the live stream of the Rocket Punch Show as well. So, highlighting message, interpretive dances, things of that nature.
How you spend them is up to you.
Yes, 100% up to you.
Yep.
So since it's episode 1, the news was Rocket Punch 4.0. We got that done.
Yes.
We're done with that. Giving you guys a quick content update here so you know, if you are subscribed to us on Twitch, that way you'll know when we go live all this week. We'll be streaming 2 times this week. We're going to start with Rocket Punch Live, kind of keeping our streams any 2 days between Tuesday and Thursday. So one week it could be Tuesday and Wednesday. Next week it could be Wednesday and Thursday. It just varies, depends on our schedule. But this upcoming Tuesday, I will be streaming some Journey to the Savage Planet, which I'm pretty excited about playing.
I've been interested in that. That seems really neat.
So if you're interested in that new game, it came out this past weekend. Join me on Tuesday for that. And then Thursday, gonna play some Apex Legends. Might even see if there are some maybe local streamers or other cool people that might want to stream with us and hang out with us there. But those are the 2 things we'll be streaming. You can go, when our website is live over at rocketpunchgo.com, you'll be able to actually see our schedule each week, so that way you know when we're going live. Or you can just click the heart at the top of your screen, follow us here on Twitch, and you'll get an alert right on your phone whenever we do. Let's get in topic of the show.
Let's get dangerous.
Okay.
All right, that is much better. Yes.
For all the old people out there.
Old people, like you're older than both of us. You know what this is.
I know it. I love that show. That show was great.
It's on Disney Plus.
Since it's episode 1 of the Rocket Punch Show, I figured we would do. Actually, this was your idea. You
My idea.
This. We're going to talk. Since we've been quiet, basically January has been our games of the year 2019 stuff. Go listen to those episodes; they were great. In case you missed them, we're going to talk about our 2020 predictions in gaming this upcoming year. So,
Can
some
you get
people
that GIF of Deku
in the computer?
Yeah.
Just where he's bouncing back and forth.
So what we're going to do, guys, is we've each created 4 predictions that we're going to go through here and talk about on what we think might happen this year in gaming. Gonna go each one at a time. Give our picks and kind of break it down for us here. You are first on the list.
Am I first on the list?
And you're the
Cool.
guest.
I came up with these very quickly, but I think they're very good.
Okay, then
I think they're very
start
good.
us off. What do we got?
Now I have a question. This is for chat or the people around the table. Do we want to start big, or do we want to start not so big?
We'll let chat decide.
Chat, you let me know. Do you want to go big, or you want to wait a little bit on that?
While chat's deciding, a highlighted message came through. Halo Atlantis says, "Do you want to build a snowman?"
I replied in chat, are we getting snow to build it with?
Well, it doesn't have to be a snowman.
Zing.
I watch the movies.
Small. Okay, starting small. That's a highlighted chat. I am going to say that.
But Jack Wolfhard is also saying, go big or go home, fools.
But then, no, majority is saying small.
The power of the highlight is unstoppable.
Actually, he's been outvoted because we all have two more saying safe, then go to riskies.
All right, so starting small.
That's funny.
Part of a recent, I'm going to call it a Ninja Theory Direct. I don't know what else to call it. It was like a strange Ninja Theory
I know what you're talking
thing. They unveiled another project that they're working on beyond Hellblade 2 called Project Mara. I believe that announcing that as a project, like a project name in 2020, gives me a clue as to what we can expect. I believe, so here's my prediction. I believe that Project Mara will be a horror game that is of the level that people expected from PT. And it will come out on Xbox Series X within the first year of the console's launch.
Really?
Yes. I think that Project Mara is... You think about what Ninja Theory has done with Hellblade, they're doing with Hellblade 2. This is a company that has actual psychologists and psychiatrists on staff to help deconstruct the human psyche to understand, like, in the case of Hellblade, like, how people are impacted by psychosis and different mental illnesses there. But I think if you take that principle and apply it to a horror game, that's what PT was. That's why people love PT. That was a game that applied psychological manipulation, repetition, pattern, basically forcing you through the same loop, but each time changing something. That is the definition of horror. Like, humans love the same. We love repetition, and when that repetition is interrupted, we don't like it. And so I think that Ninja Theory could be, hopefully, taking that Silent Hill mantle that is basically wide open right now and taking us forward with like a new level of horror, something along the lines that you'd expect from, like, I think Resident Evil's gotten pretty close, but I'm thinking more like Amnesia, right? Like the completely helpless, like you are at the whims of
your psychosis.
Yeah, your psychosis. Like if they take that principle and apply it to a horror game, I think you could have very easily one of the best horror games of ever, but definitely of the generation. So
yeah. Halo highlighted message. Halo Atlantis in chat says 2020 is the main reason why we have a double vision. So
fill my eyes with that double vision.
Oh, Jack Wolfhard.
If I say anything
that
more.
is literally the epitome of a dad joke.
BlackRock says, I like this theory. Jack Wolfhard comes even better and says, that's a great ninja theory.
Zing!
I don't...
I'm not opposed to it.
I'm not opposed to it either. Do you think it's ready?
I think it will be.
Here's the thing: we know they've got at least one team working on the arena fighting game.
Yep.
The team-based fighting game.
Oh, Blazing? No.
But you know what I mean.
Yes, I can't believe I can't remember it right now.
Yeah, but they have that game that they're working on. Something Steel or I can't remember. The point is, they've got that team. Mm-hmm. We also know that they have the team that's working on essentially Hellblade. But when they got bought by Microsoft, they got essentially given a blank check compared to what they were used to having. Who's to say they don't have a third team now working on it?
True. They did expand their staff. I think they said they had double the amount of people as they did when they made the original Hellblade. So
yeah.
Okay. I see your.
And they could be
there.
bouncing
Bleeding
artists
Edge.
between the two. So.
Bleeding Edge is the name.
Okay. And they could have artists
right.
bounce
That's-
between the two when
That's
they
coming
don't
out
need them.
soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This
This
month.
is like is it this month?
I think it's
Oh,
February.
very nice.
Yeah, it's coming out real soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I would love to
That's
see
fine.
more from Ninja Theory, man. I want that studio just turned loose on the
Y'all
line.
better
I
get
think
ready.
we will.
Microsoft. I was looking at the Microsoft first party studio, like the like if you go to Microsoft Studios right now, like they have a website and it has the spread of all their studios. I was looking at it. I was like, man, you could you could see an output like people expect from Sony now. You could see that same output coming from Microsoft and like think about that. Like think about if we had more like double. What if we had Sony 2, right? Like, and you had more amazing franchises like Double Fine, Ninja Theory, Obsidian. Like, those are.
I guess with both of them coming at us, we would fill our eyes with double vision.
I'm gonna, So that's my prediction.
Okay.
Ninja Theory, Project Mara, really good horror game. First year of Xbox Series X reveal, or within the first year.
Jack Wolfhart in chat says, but seriously though, your game company either dies a hero or lives to become a Bethesda. So hopefully Ninja Theory isn't stretching themselves as much as
Man,
it
Blizzard's finding out about that right now, aren't they?
sounds. We promised we weren't talking about that. No. Bad will. No.
Fine, I'll wait till
But
episode
the
2.
cutscenes.
But what you can't talk
I
about...
will till episode 2.
Yeah, wait till episode 2. But you can't talk about your prediction, number 1.
Oh, number 1. Microsoft will not announce their console price until Sony does.
Yes, that is the correct strategy. You do literally
That is the safest
You
bet I could take on this.
have zero strategic advantage for announcing your price first. Zero strategic advantage.
I heard that there were rumors. These are 100% rumors that Sony isn't like the way Sony's stuff is staggered out. At whenever their reveal event is, they're actually just going to talk about the machine, but they're not going to announce the price, and they won't announce it until after E3.
It's because Sony has evolved to what I call the flat brimmers, right? They got their flat brim hat. They think they're so cool. They don't even need to come to E3. We're not even going to show up because you guys laughed at our flute player that one year. We're out. And now...
They're essentially the hipster game company.
Yeah, basically, which works as long as it works. But when it stops working...
Until they become Bethesda.
I don't know.
Marutu says they could include 3 months to a year of Game Pass with a new console. Price doesn't really matter that much. I mean, that's exact. They're going to include Game Pass in whatever their new console is. 100%.
I am...
Yeah.
This is not a prediction, but I also think that it is very smart to make a console that has a thing on it already. Like look at what they did with the all digital edition. Like that.
It came with 3 games
It came
on it.
with Minecraft. It came with Sea of Thieves, and it came with Forza Horizon 4, I think, or Horizon 3.
With a newer one.
No, I
Horizon's
think it was
6.
Fortnite.
Oh, maybe you're
I
right.
think it
Maybe
was
you're right.
Fortnite.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
so but those came pre-installed, so you could boot them up, and yes, I'm sure it came with a code for 1 month of Game Pass that you could use to download. But there's something about being able to just plug it in and have the game ready to rock and roll. So, not a key prediction, but I would love to see that from either Sony or Microsoft. Just like put something on there, like give us the pack in, right?
Okay.
Jack Wolfhart, yes. I want a Brutal Legend 2.
Brutal. Listen. If that happens, my mortal shell will peel back, and beneath will become a spiritual entity, and I will ascend physical form into a gaseous form and float off into the universe until that game comes out, in which I will come back and reamass into a pound of flesh to play that game because it's so good.
Oh, man.
Roots is asking for Alexa to investigate you. Say you're a Microsoft spy.
Highlighted message from Halo Atlantis. I'm glad Microsoft bought Ninja's Theory. No more Other M. Did they make Other M?
I think they were involved, actually.
I'm looking that up.
Actually, Lupine Furman, I would love for true cross-platform gameplay to become standardized across everything.
Give it time.
It's in progress, though, because if you look at the Game of the Year talks...
Oh.
They did?
They did not. It is Team Ninja. I can see the
Okay.
comparison there, but yeah, Team Ninja is a different squad. But
Man, could you imagine, like, if on your computer you had, like, I don't know, like Call of Duty, and you could play with all the console kids, and the console kids can play with you?
You can do that now.
I know, that's the point.
You can do that right now.
we're here. Thank you. You know what? no matter what you say about it, about the game, we got to thank Fortnite for that.
Yeah.
It would not have happened without Fortnite. And Epic putting their foot down and being like, nope, this is what we're doing. And like pushing for it and making it a thing. It was...
Actually, I'm playing Dauntless right now, and it is exactly that way.
Yep. Oh, I mean,
Crossplay, cross-save.
made by Epic too, so or like
Phoenix
published,
Labs, but yeah,
published
Epic's
by
publishing.
Epic, yeah. And they use the thing is they use that framework, right? Like
Yeah.
part of the Epic tool set now is just straight up like tools, like all the crossplay tools are built in. You can use the Epic store. Like I know people don't like the Epic store, but like you can use your Epic account. Like you, in theory, a Call of Duty could launch where you sign in with your Epic account, and this won't happen because of BattleNet, but like that could be the way that they do that. So
True. Okay.
it's
Jumpman is saying, wow, Seth.
huh?
Jumpman says, wow, Seth.
Wow. He's the WoW guy.
No.
Maybe I don't know anymore.
Not anymore, I'm not. Oh.
All right.
My number one. Ooh, man, which one do I want to pick? Pick an easy one. The new game from WB. If it's a Batman game, I don't know. Whatever it is. I've been talking about
It's
for
going
years.
to be a Court of Owls game.
It will not be announced until E3 this year.
I think that's solid. Pretty solid.
It's even though they've teased it here or there, I feel like they're at this point where it's just like, why even bother? They've waited years and we haven't said a word. Like, just wait until E3. I don't
know why they've even teased that game. Like, why do the Twitter thing? Like, people, at a certain point, you just make people angry, right? And I feel like that point of diminishing returns is about a week. Like, people are generally cool with very overt. Now, if you want to do some, like, AR, like, early days of Overwatch shenanigans, I think you can get away with longer. But, like, if you're just going to send out a tweet that's, like, obscure, like, you need to talk about some within a week, right?
Yeah.
That's just my thought.
I agree. But I think that, it won't be mentioned until E3 2020, and one of the big reasons I think it won't be until then is because it is next gen. I think
Next gen only? What does that even mean? What
No,
is next
I
gen
don't-
only? Next gen only isn't a thing.
It won't be only on the new next gen systems.
Yeah.
It will be. There's too much money still baked into the old ones. They won't lose out on that revenue, especially if it's a Batman game. They know they're going to make.
There's
money
at least
on it.
140 million consoles they can sell a game on.
Exactly
That are out there in the wild right now.
I don't. No, so it will, but it's. I think the huge delay. I think they would have announced it sooner, but I think somewhere like 2 years ago they shifted and said, "Hey, we're going to make this a next gen title for Series X and PS5." And so that's why they've kind of basically put the lid on everything until then. So, WB Montreal game, you're not going to hear anything about it until 2020. Full stop.
That's fair.
Seth,
It's back to me. It's back to me.
Gotta go back in time.
All right, so I'm gonna hit with one of my big ones here. One of my big ones, and I know I've said this before. I'm gonna say it again right here on this podcast. Without a doubt, 100% certainty, the Xbox Series X will ship as a dual input device, meaning the entirety of the Xbox Series X will be navigatable and usable with both a controller and keyboard and mouse, as well as full support for games to support each of those subsequent input methods individually with all the matchmaking separations that people would expect.
You think it's time?
I think it is time. I think that when I saw that box and was freaking out as I saw the Xbox Series X reveal, which you can hear my personal story about the Series X reveal and where I was and what I was doing at that moment on the latest the first episode of Console Wars, which will be up now for patrons or close to now.
It is on.
It is currently on
It is
Patreon
live
for
on
patrons.
Patreon.
And if you are not a patron, you will get access in 2 weeks.
in next week.
Next week. Okay, so next week you'll have access. But anyways, I digress. I looked at it, I was like, man, that looks like a PC tower. Like, yes, it can be turned sideways, but like it really looks like a PC tower. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it and I'm like, man, Microsoft's been flirting with it forever. That PC app runs exactly like I would expect an Xbox dashboard to run if it was a keyboard and mouse.
Okay.
I think that now my dream has always been like you know, just like when you're playing on a PC, right? And like I'm playing Monster Hunter World with the keyboard and mouse and I touch the controller. As soon as I touch the controller, all the interface in the game changes, you know, all the buttons change to A, B, X, Y instead of WASD, right?
Yeah.
I was like, what if your console did that? What if you're sitting there and you have your big tiles in their new dashboard layout. But as soon as you like touch the keyboard and mouse, everything shifts to be like.
Isn't that what Windows 8 did?
But you don't compare it to that because that was bad.
Well, no, well, like Windows 8 as a desktop OS was horrible because of the overlay they put on it.
No, you just hit Window D and it went right to the desktop.
Exactly. But, well, I think, didn't they have to wait?
No.
Well,
I had Windows 8.
I think
Window D, boom, gone.
I think the current team at Microsoft is really good at understanding how people use things on different devices. Like, you look at how Windows 10 has evolved. They have this fluent design system. They have this really sharp OS that's very efficient. I think that they are very close to this point where you start to blur the lines between... Because I think the perfect console is the console that is as powerful as a PC but as easy to use as a Nintendo, right? Like, you just plug in and go. So I think that Microsoft is looking to get to that type of interaction sooner rather than later.
John Mayan saying we don't talk about Windows 8.
Yeah, Windows 8 is... Don't invoke that. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to undermine...
Windows 8 was cool on mobile devices and tablets. I remember using it,
I
especially on the Windows mobile phone.
It was
awesome. But I just remember when there was a point, some small window where they didn't let you go to the desktop, or it was very difficult to do. It was a pain in the butt.
Yeah. No, people were just upset that they had to do an extra step to get to the desktop instead of launch into a different interface. That was the big problem people hated.
Lupine Furman in chat says, well, why not? It's a PC with an Xbox logo on it. And then Jumpman99 in chat says, yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, I genuinely think that like it is time to blur the line between what we perceive as I think there are a lot of people out there who are tired of buying $700 graphics cards and tired of graphics cards shooting up in price because of Bitcoin mining and tired of having to, as I've reflected in Console Wars, deal with games crashing out because RGB lighting is like it's a bunch of bullcrap that people, I know I'm personally tired of. I think a lot of gamers are tired of all these different launchers and all these different companies vying for installers and all this stuff when the perfect ecosystem's already there. It's Xbox and PlayStation.
I think as
one store, one place.
As consoles have made that shift to the x86 architecture, which is the same thing as your PC, and we've kind of to help developers bridge that gap, I think it is giving more gamers a choice on if they want to have a PC and have that extra power, or if they just want the simplicity and plug-and-play functionality on a console system.
Yeah, I think it's time. I think they flirted with it the past couple years, but it is time fully deploy it.
Let's get some updates here. Jack Wolfhart in chat says, oh, can I make a prediction? Xbox Series X will have the Duke option. You know what I mean?
Oh, boy, if there's a Duke with it.
I don't, you know what? I would take a Duke. As far
listen, the Duke is something. It's something. I would love that, but I feel like the Duke is. They might do another one for like a
the Series X.
Yeah, well, what was it? There was a company that did a Duke recently. Hyperkin, yeah.
Yeah.
But like that'll work because all your.
Nope, that's Series.
Oh,
no.
No.
Quiet.
I think that will work on it because, from what I understand, Xbox One controllers are forward compatible. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. I just like the idea of like an Xbox Design Labs Duke option where I could go and custom order one with colors and gamer tag and all that on it.
If you have that in the Design Lab, the minute you switch to what I'm going to now call Duke mode, you have to change the interface of the entire website to be reflective of the 2001 Xbox website. Complete with gloobity globs and test chamber tubes.
Highlighted message as well. Halo Atlanta says Windows ME is the worst OS. Windows ME was pretty bad.
Yeah, but Lupine has a pretty good response saying Dubisonic goes to Vista, Microsoft virus.
We have some stories about Vista. We sure do. Maybe we talk about them on a bonus round episode. I don't know.
Yeah.
Will, number 2, prediction. What you got?
Dos. Sony will announce the specs and look of their new console before E3. I think they're going to do a PS4-esque event in New York City at the Sony Theater sometime between February and March.
I was going to ask, if you want to make this prediction spicy.
I was about to say, that's when you
do you think it'll be?
Tell me the date.
It doesn't be a date. Give me a
month. Give me the date.
calendar.
I'm tired of these softballs around here. I'm tired of the training wheels predictions.
Naruto, Gamescom is after E3. It's
it
usually
is.
in the August time frame or September.
Let's see here. Sorry, I'm loading a calendar. Funny enough. All right, so you want it before that? That's fine. I'm gonna go with because let's make it spicy. February 28th. We're gonna make it a Friday.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's
Hey,
possible.
it's a leap year, so it's not the last day of the month.
Oh, it is.
It's exactly.
You're right.
Not only that, it's a Friday, which means people can gossip about it all weekend.
Yeah.
And then come in on Monday
Y'all-
and talk at the water cooler.
Friday's the new Tuesday. If you're not launching your games on Friday, you're living in the past.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the U.S. was the only, the big territory that continued to launch games and stuff on Tuesdays. Like, everybody else is launching on
Retailers.
Fridays. Yeah.
Yeah, it's retailers.
It's something like retailers or the way, something how they make their money or something.
Oh, Rurutu, it doesn't matter. If Sony gets on stage to announce, no matter what other event is going on, they will overshadow it. Guaranteed. Because it's once every 10 years they get on stage to talk about a new console. So it doesn't matter if it's PAX East.
I've got to. All right,
it.
I'm going to have you. This is what we're going to call a level up prediction, where if you can create this level of prediction, you transcend your initial prediction and get bonus points or whatever. When they reveal the PlayStation,
Yeah.
will it ascend from the ground, descend from the ceiling, or be on a static podium covered with a sheet?
Static podium with a sheet, but the sheet will be over a plexiglass box so that you don't know the shape until they show you.
Okay. All right.
Ooh, that's good.
That's a good guess.
That's good. I like that.
So, follow up to that, will they show the box on a video screen before they show it live on the stage?
No.
Okay. That's a good prediction. You're getting in there. You got to dig in, not be like, oh, Sony's going to announce the PlayStation 5 this year.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, thank you, Hobo Slayers team.
Oh, good God.
Hobo Slayers team.
Hobo Slayers team, welcome. They are rating us with a party of 7. Welcome. Come on in, get piled in, get comfortable around the table.
Get in on the couch.
We are having episode 1 of the Rocket Punch show, which you've completely missed all the new announcements. Watch the archive footage. I'm sure we'll have some clips on our social media about all the new stuff.
First off, Rurutu, I would love that, but I don't think Lisa Sue is the kind of person you want flying a jetpack.
Just read that. Oh my God. I'm loving all the Hobo Slayer hype things. Mortana's TV, Danzig streams, Palace streams. While we're chatting, please let us know how the D&D campaign went for you guys tonight. I'm pretty sure tonight was your guys' night. You were doing that.
That's right. We have ours tomorrow night.
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm excited. Love D&D. Completely random. No, it's a game. That's on brand.
It's on brand.
I mean, dude, 3D.
As the grand brand master, I have dictated that it is on brand.
Danzig Streams says things burned in eternal fire.
Good.
Yes.
You're playing it correctly.
So by fire be purged, in the name of our Lord Ragnaros.
Adderall also says, hey, looking forward to all the new stuff. Thank you.
Yes.
We hope you
yes.
are. We got a lot of good stuff
There
planned.
will be archive footage for you to check out on that.
Yeah. What is it? Is it my turn?
It's your turn, yeah.
Yeah, he decided to push me into the level up. So
Yeah, I leveled his up to a prediction. To a prediction.
Okay.
You got what I mean.
Let me try and do that to you. Okay.
Okay.
So, prediction. When Sony announces the PS5 and reveals it and shows off the games,
Okay.
there will be at least 3 exclusives. And by exclusives, I mean you will only be able to play them on the PlayStation 5. Full stop. Prediction.
Okay.
One of them will be Knack 3. Knack 3, baby!
That is a real prediction right there.
I don't know if we want Knack 3,
I think
but
you're
we're
going to get a
it.
lot of JPEG logos and a lot of dates that will not be the final dates.
Oh, no.
that's
These will be
That's a heritage.
very pre.
Y'all are still waiting on games from the E3 of Dreams. Still waiting on them.
2 months, man. They're coming.
You'll get them soon.
I've locked in my price. I got my big old... I'm telling you. I'm telling everyone right now. He knows it's going to happen. When Final Fantasy VII Remake is launched, right here on the table will be Cloud, on his motorcycle with the Buster Sword in its full glory the entire episode.
Yo, Roots has got a good point. Spider-Man 2.
Oh, boy.
That would make me buy a PS5 day one.
I don't think that's going to be a launch day or window reveal. I think it's going to be sometime in 2021. So
I think you see Horizon 2 before you see
before you
see Spider-Man.
I mean, yeah, probably.
The only thing that would make me think Spider-Man gets out the door faster is if it also takes place in New York City and they can reuse a large portion of the map. But at that point, I think people would be bummed by that. Like, I think people want something new from a Spider-Man 2.
I think if they did that, it would be more of an upgrade. So, like, there would be more detail. You can go into more buildings because of the power of the PlayStation 5. You like maybe more destructible environments.
Alleged power. Alleged power.
Yeah, we haven't got anything confirmed.
Well, funny thing is, I've been following a lot of those the hardware leaks out of AMD, and right now we're looking about 2 teraflop lead for the Xbox. So
that means so much to so many people.
Yes. All it means for everybody that's really watching is things will be shiny on both. Literally, when you're looking like 10 teraflops plus, shiny everywhere. Go.
We ascended the point where
flops matter.
Like each generation, things aren't like a huge leap. They all look basically the same. We just get more of it. But no, I think that I'm not going to delve too much into it because we've talked about it on Console Wars. But I think that Sony still, I think a lot of what Sony is doing is still playing by their old playbook. And to their credit, it hasn't failed them yet. Now, this is a new generation with a lot of new factors.
Time is coming.
I was going to say, so a lot of things could change on that. But I think, they have to have a reason for people to buy the box. And I think for Sony right now, exclusives is that big thing. And so if they come out swinging, I think even if the exclusive is launch window, so say like, I know a lot of rumors have said Horizon Zero Dawn 2, if they announce it, would be like 2021 springtime.
Yeah.
I think that would still entice people to buy it.
Maybe.
Because they're like, ooh, I want to go ahead and get it now. Let me get it. Because for a lot of reasons. Fear that it may go out of stock for the holiday season. Yeah. It might be too hard to find, too expensive, whatever.
This is not my official prediction, but I'm going to... It's a bonus. This is a bonus, big bonus prediction. These next-generation consoles will be the fastest-selling video game consoles ever.
Oh, yeah.
And that will be propelled primarily by the fact that they are both backwards compatible. I think that many people... I have traded in my PlayStation... I traded in my PlayStation 4 Pro. My girlfriend has one, so I'm not PS4 Pro-less. But the fact is that worst case scenario, I don't have a PS4 until October or November of this year. Like, that's... Like, me or her will be getting a PS5, and it will play all the PS4 games. So I think more people are going to be on with pushing forward and, like, straight up just getting rid. I think there's going to be a huge surplus of people getting rid and a lot more early adopters than you saw previously because of back compatibility.
Yeah, I would believe it.
I think that if you look at how well Sony has done, and this was without backwards compatibility.
So I've said it before on the show years ago, and I still have the mentality like when Microsoft announced backwards compatibility a couple of years back, it was great. It was awesome. It didn't mean squat. In my opinion, it didn't mean squat because I think backwards compatibility shines its brightest at console generation changes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because it makes it very easy for somebody to say, oh, I can go to the next gen and still keep and play the old games I may not have finished. Yeah. So, Halo Atlantis highlighted chat says Killzone. Look.
Killzone's dead, guys. I'm sorry.
Die. Yeah.
Because Guerrilla Games is now making Horizon Zero Dawn, and they were the guys making that game. So unless they have like Ben Studio, which is probably going to be doing a sequel to Days Gone,
they I think Guerrilla Games has enough for a second team. I think they do have a second team. We just don't know what they're working on.
I'm going to be honest. The last Killzone game was awesome, but it got pooped on by pretty much everybody.
Killzone Shadowfall was good.
Yes.
That's a really good game. If you see it for $5 or less, pick it up. It's great.
Hell, if you see it for $20, pick it up. It's a good game.
Truth. Lupine Furman in chat says, okay, for Sony, take their number one game from the original PlayStation and update the game and graphics for the new system and release it as the bundle for the PS5. What would that be?
Final Fantasy VII remake.
I was like, is that it? Isn't it? Or Metal Gear Solid?
I don't think Metal Gear Solid would be a groundbreaking. Metal Gear Solid is a very cinematic experience and is not a great way to I think gaming's come so far that people expect something like Final Fantasy, where it is like a video game, like there are RPG elements, like Metal Gear Solid is cool, but it is an experience that you watch. Like
plus you have to rope Konami into it.
And that's not going to happen. I want to answer a question real quick. Is 2021 going to be the year to upgrade to a 4K display? Jumpman, I'm going to go ahead and tell you now. Whatever display you buy, make sure it has FreeSync compatibility. And the reason why I'm saying this is both of the new consoles are going to have the newer AMD graphics chips in them, which are FreeSync compatible. Now, the Xbox One X already supports FreeSync with certain TVs. It's going to be opened up on the floodgates with the new updated HDMI 2.1 standard on both consoles, which means the Samsung TVs that got FreeSync are probably going to be where you want to be. Just because then, even if you're not getting like 120 frames, it's still smooth and buttery.
A lot of words.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Of words.
I'm a tech nerd. What can I say?
I know.
I'm sorry.
That's prediction 2. Number 3.
All right. Halo Infinite is going to be... Halo Infinite is going to include RPG-like mechanics into its gameplay, and it will define a new decade of Halo content moving forward. I think that Halo Infinite
That's a big one.
is a game that has been in development for a very long time by a very talented team that I honestly think made a poor choice and a mistake in the approach they took with Halo 5. However, I look at what they did with Halo 5 in, 3 years?
It was excellent, man.
It was an excellent game. It had a lot of story issues, I'll admit. But it did at least set things up for an interesting soft reboot that you could theoretically do with Halo Infinite. And I think that they have learned from that experience, and they're taking things like crossplay, they're taking things like... And Phil said this in an interview, they're never going to say, like, power the Microsoft Cloud. They're never going to do that again. But taking the idea of incorporating online content to your online experience while playing a game allows you to make bigger environments, more advanced simulations, better physics, all that stuff. I think that Halo Infinite could possibly be one of the best Halo games ever made and a true return to form for what that franchise, what people remember it being, but also setting a decade's worth of content for it to become and evolve into. So,
Lupine Furman in chat says the Halo series is going to evolve into an MMO. Do you believe that?
I think it would be actually kind of an interesting take if they went more of like the MMO light route, kind of like Destiny, whereas like, hey, you guys are playing as Spartans and you're helping the chief through this part of the story, and then certain special moments you could like take over as the chief or something like that. But then because we saw with Reach, like people don't mind not playing as the chief as long as you're still a Spartan. Like, I mean...
Yeah, I follow you. Yeah.
You know, as long as you're still, like, one of the super future soldier people that can go in and wreck shop just as well as the chief can, and maybe you're working with him or for him on certain things, I don't see why they wouldn't make the chief more like a Zavala character, except better.
Okay.
I think this is... do y'all mind if I get wild for a minute here?
Go.
This is normally the amount of wildness that I would reserve for Console Wars, which is our new show where me and Cameron discuss Xbox and PlayStation strategies leading throughout the year. We discuss each month who we think did better. However, this is wild. What if Halo Infinite is a story-driven campaign that features Master Chief from start to finish? Because I do think that quote from Phil when that from a couple years back where he said the thing we learned from Halo 5 is that when people see Halo, they think Master Chief. So I don't think they're going to make
I don't think they would make it. Yeah.
What if the story for Halo Infinite, because the name is Infinite, right? What if the story is, sorry, spoilers for Halo 5. So AI are like all rogue now, right?
Yeah.
So it is up to Master Chief to find a way for humanity to restore itself and to somehow not get eradicated by the Halos, right?
Yeah.
What if the end of Halo has him either uncovering or discovering or even rebooting the Spartan program? And similar to how the Division the Division 2 did things. Like, you went into end game mode, remember? Like, after you beat the campaign, like, you were introduced to a new faction. The end game of Halo Infinite is you playing as a new Spartan, as basically kind of like, think like Destiny style, where it's like you're a Guardian, but like you're a Spartan, and now you walk up and talk to Master Chief, and he's giving you orders and places to go and weekly events to complete, and
that would be cool.
That's how you progress your character, but the initial campaign is the story of how
we get to that point.
We get to that point where, you know, whether the Flood's coming back, and now the Halos are getting activated by the AIs, and Master Chief's got to come back, and while he's on one of the Halos, he finds a map, or, you know, pull out some whatever. That's a wild prediction.
All right.
I'm going to ride that all the way to the bank.
Lupine Furman in chat says, isn't he about due for a promotion? Yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
Admiral Chief is where it should be. As many times as he saved the planet.
Thank you. Will, number 3.
Sony will expand PS Now to include mobile and compete with xCloud. I also believe that it will come to the Switch.
What? Oh.
No.
Whoa.
Here's the thing. I think Microsoft and Sony are both looking at Nintendo as kind of like the baby brother in the fight. So, like, you got two brothers who are like twins, and they're beating each other in the face, right?
So, this is a horrible example, so I apologize to anyone. But Microsoft and Sony are like the mom and dad who have to, like
so like, should I leave?
The kid to be like, come on, come to daddy or come to mommy. That's
I don't know if we're going to go that bad.
That is dark, dude. I just had flashbacks to the end of Air Bud.
Oh,
Jesus.
Yeah, remember the creepy clown dude? That was not great.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, no. No, I honestly think they're going to expand PS Now.
Okay.
And, yeah, it'll definitely hit mobile. It is where I'm thinking they'll end up going.
Okay.
But I think the Switch would be the little, oh, hey, yes, we know your iPad can play it. Well, how about the Switch? Because you're just signing into a game service to play.
But what about the kids?
I don't know. Why don't you ask Jim Ryan about how much danger they're in?
Sorry, that's such a BS quote by him.
Not a great quote.
Okay.
No, the Switch is like the pro tier of that prediction.
Okay, so that's the prediction.
Yeah, that's prediction. Okay. The rest of it is they'll expand to mobile, and they'll expand PS Now.
Okay.
Rarutu in chat says, I don't think they will partner with Nintendo. They take too much money from game dev, and the specs of that thing is weak sauce worse than PS3.
Well, because it's a game stream and not actually putting the game on it, you don't need more than like a 6 meg to 30 meg connection.
True.
It's a 720p screen, so it's not like you got to do a 4K output. Stadia learned even they can't do it.
Too soon. Well,
is it really?
No.
No, but in all seriousness, like with everything going on, I wouldn't be surprised for Nintendo to start benefiting from other people's work, just because everyone's like, hey, when's it on the Switch? Everybody is saying that. And, you know, yeah, you pay like 1% of anything or whatever, or up to 20% of any sub you get to Nintendo. It's still extra profit you wouldn't have had if they don't have your stuff.
Good point.
All right, Cameron.
It's my turn. Oh, God.
Back to you. Number 3.
I'll do another easy one. Well, I say not easy one, but a lot of mine are easy because I came up with them off the cuff. Microsoft this year will have some type of killer move 1-2 combo with Xbox Series X and Game Pass.
Okay.
Let me explain killer move. It's not going to be like, hey, you open your box and you get like a month sub of Xbox Game Pass. It could, some ideas I have, it could be something along the lines of like some big exclusive game that they've is been prepped and hasn't been announced yet, that they instantly say this is day and date on Game Pass. They've partnered with WB Montreal and they got the Batman game on Game Pass for and you know it's going to be powered by Xbox Series X and the Power Your Dreams, and it's going to have you're going to get a month of Game Pass and you'll get the game in there with it. I could also see something, they could even go bolder, that if you pre-order or get the Xbox Series X, they'll give you a free year of Game Pass.
Oh wow,
or something to that effect. There's going to be like
that's the cost of the console, basically.
All joking aside, the Series, well, the Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass is Microsoft's, like, I don't say secret weapon because it's not a secret anymore, but it's their like very strong weapon against the forces of evil, and like them using it, that is a tide turner, I think, because you have to think, yes, we'll have backwards compatibility, and that does come into play, but with these new games, if you get the system, you got backwards compatibility, you can play your old games, but then you say, hey, if you have Xbox Game Pass, you don't have to worry about buying brand new games off the shelf for $60. It comes with a free month. You can continue to sign up, and you'll get Microsoft exclusive games come on the console day one. You'll be able to get those with Game Pass. Any new additions they've added, you'll also get to Game Pass, and I think that's a powerful ally.
Yeah, there's something to be said about a giant library that millions of people have access to simultaneously. It reinnovates the idea of co-op games.
Yep.
Like if you're launching a co-op game, you should be considering Game Pass. Look at what it did for Rocket League.
Yeah.
Not a co-op game, but launching as free on PlayStation Plus allowed that game to go from probably, I would say, like really popular indie game of that year into being multi-year phenomenon of esports fandom, and now Epic acquisition. Literally, Epic acquisition.
Epic does own them. I keep forgetting about
Yeah.
that. But it will be something along those lines. There will be some killer secret move that Microsoft pulls out, I think, with Game Pass
Okay.
in the new console.
Any specifics besides WB won't happen, but
I can't think of anybody they partner with. Like the one I would think of is that there will be, like, if you pre-order or some incentive to get the console, you will get a very large amount of Game Pass time. 6 months, a year, something.
okay.
I think they'll.
Seth will be pleased by this.
You would get by that.
I mean, I'm maxed out. Fun fact, I haven't shared this. I don't think I've shared this with y'all yet. I won Major Nelson's Free Code Friday.
What?
A couple weeks ago. I did. I got 6 months of Game Pass, but I can't activate it because I had that year, the 3 years maxed out, so I can't activate it until like April. But the code expires in June, so I'm good. But yeah, I got 6 months of Game Pass Ultimate from it.
Awesome.
There you go.
That was pretty neat.
Which means you literally have. Wow. Yeah. All right. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Jack Wolf Heart in chat says, plus think about how many people Game Pass saved from actually buying Crackdown 3.
I don't
Yeah.
think anyone would have bought it. That's the harsh reality is I think a lot more people play games that are on Game Pass than they would go out and buy. I would not have bought Outer Wilds. Was my game of the year last year. I would not have bought Crackdown. Not great, but an enjoyable 8 hours of Terry Crews. Yeah,
I mean,
I
Terry
think
Crews is the only good part of that.
Game Pass fundamentally changes the entire relationship that someone has for gaming, for better or worse. Like, I still think there are real dangers with a Game Pass only approach. I think you start looking at developers who are tempted to make, and this is not a comparison of quality, this is a comparison of game design. You look at developers who maybe are tempted to create a Sea of Thieves style game over a Last of Us style game, right? Because Sea of Thieves is going to keep people coming back. It's a cyclical adventure where you're constantly evolving the game. Last of Us, like if Last of Us came out on PlayStation Now, a bunch of people would go out, buy a 1 month card for $15, play that game, beat it, and unsubscribe and be done. And then that would be basically a 75% discount on the game, like that most people would be looking at. So there's a danger there, but that's a discussion for console wars.
It is.
Not for here.
I'm gonna find something. Is it your turn? Last prediction. Fire it off.
Last prediction. Last prediction. I think that xCloud will launch this year with a finalized name. And I think that xCloud will possibly be one of the biggest and most impressive feats of tech that we have seen in quite some time. I don't think it will replace a console experience, but it will definitely increase the amount of time that people spend playing Xbox games. In conjunction with that, I think that Xbox, here's my prediction, that Xbox Game Pass Ultimate will somehow have elements of xCloud bundled in with it. Whether pie in the sky, I would love for xCloud to just become a feature of Game Pass Ultimate. I know that Microsoft is wanting to build Game Pass, or xCloud as its own standalone paid service outside of.
I thought their plan was to integrate xCloud into Game Pass.
They have said that is an interesting idea, but so far they have said that xCloud, meaning running Xbox games off of a Blade server on a server farm, is going to be a separate paid service from...
You streaming the game off of your own Xbox.
Yeah, streaming your game from your own Xbox, which would in theory be games
Free.
you already own or games from Game Pass. Right. However, I think Game Pass Ultimate is the difference here. Ultimate, they've been trying to push people to go from the $10 to the $15 tier.
Oh, thank you.
And I think that a great way to do that, beyond what they've done so far with the PC and Xbox, I guess you say free games catalog, PC Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass, having that feature in there and starting to unify those libraries makes a way more sense to me, because I don't think that the way that Game Pass is implemented right now is super great for the end user, because I, booted up Outer Worlds, played for 8 hours, went to my PC and sat down, and it doesn't recognize that progress. And I understand there's a lot of reasons, because that game was in production well before, but what happened when they opened up the Microsoft Store to allow a lot of different types of games in, they've also made it where things that used to work seamlessly, like Xbox Play Anywhere and whatnot, are no longer the standard, they're the exception. And so I'm looking for where that middle ground is, where I could play a game on my PC natively at full resolution using the full power of my graphics card, but then maybe sit down on a weaker console. Mm-hmm. It could be the Xbox One S, it could be the Switch, it could be my phone, but being able to play with that same exact achievements, game save, all of that, maybe even the same instance of the game, where it's just, it detects I pick up my iPad and boom, the game is on. It's like, oh, you're no longer at your console, you're at the iPad. Now here's your game session. I think that would be kind of cool. But my prediction is xCloud will ship this year with a proper name and price tag, and it will also be integrated heavily into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, potentially as a bundle.
Baruto in chat says, "Nah, you haven't seen Microsoft Cloud Compute growth last quarter. They are taking on Amazon. They don't have extra server space for xCloud like they had 3 years ago." Xbox has a lot of money, though.
Well, you also have to understand that Satya Nadella is heavily pushing Xbox and that branding right now as the CEO of Microsoft, because he understands that games as a service means money, even if it means Game Pass, which he's calling the Netflix of games. That's how he understands it, is going to be the future for them. So, who knows? But also at the same time, didn't Microsoft recently sign an agreement with AMD to switch to the Epic 64-core chips for their servers so that they can get more power?
I think so.
So I believe that's a thing that's also going to be happening. So eventually, once they're fully upgraded, you're looking at least twice the cores that they had per blade before.
Twice the cores. 2 scoops of cores.
Sniper Eye in chat also says, right now, Game Pass holds no appeal to me. If I want a game, I would rather pay the $60 for the game versus $120 a year for the same game if it comes to Game Pass. They don't add every game, and even then, some don't come till months after launch of the game. That's
a great point.
That's a good point.
And one of the things that you'll hear me preach throughout this entire console generation is everything Microsoft is doing is not to try and kill that principle. In fact, I would say Microsoft is being more open with the ability to one-time purchase a game than they've ever been. Gears 5 launching on Steam, unheard of. Master Chief Collection now on Steam. I know that wasn't a launch on Steam, but they're making sure that if you want to buy that game outright, that you have options for doing that. I think what Microsoft is trying to do is twofold. They're trying to increase the amount of value that people get from their Xboxes And I think the end goal of that is to make it where if you own an Xbox and a PlayStation 5, you are playing mostly on your Xbox. And the PlayStation 5 is what you pick up every couple months to play the one big game that will come out, right? That is a perfect win for Microsoft because you've got people actually playing on the other thing. The other thing I think is it's going to increase the average time people spend playing Xbox. So the idea here being, okay, Assassin's Creed, what is it called? Ragnarok comes out. Super duper fun. It's got a little bit of timing puzzle. Like you've got to be able to counter and block, but for the most part, like a little bit of lag's not going to make that game unplayable, like a Halo or something. Right?
Not like a shooter.
Yeah, not like a shooter. And I'm sitting here and I'm on my phone and I'm like, man, I could boot up and play Dragalia Lost, or I could boot up and play Assassin's Creed Ragnarok. Got my Xbox controller with me or whatever. Maybe sitting in the car waiting for whatever. And I was like, I'll play this for about 10 minutes while I'm waiting for this restaurant to open or whatever, or for my friends to get here. That's what I think xCloud is pushing for, is getting people engaged more, not so much, oh, hey, we're trying to kill the $60 game. I don't think that's the case at all. I think they're just trying to give people options. Okay. But yeah, if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Or, maybe you can play a puzzle game like Witness or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's a really good point. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people that still like to, and I think the same argument comes with physical games. Like, people like to buy physical games. Series X has a disc drive. They're not going to be shipping a console without a disc drive. So, those people have that option.
Will.
Oh, yeah.
This is your last one.
My last one?
Mm-hmm.
So, Microsoft will announce xCloud along the same lines of what you're talking about. Though the release date will be the same date as the Xbox Series X, with a caveat that Blade streaming will be in 2021.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So they're like, console streaming, PlayStation Remote Play, that will be out on your Series X and your Xbox One X and whatever in the fall when the new one comes out. So they'll push a firmware update to all the old Xboxes, and you'll be able to do it. Here's the prediction, if you want. They're going to add it to the Switch as one of the mobile options, because it's an ARM-based chip, let's be real. But with everything else going on, they're going to go in and they're going to be like, we can seriously look at this, and they're going to get Ubisoft on it.
Wait, I'm
on the Blade streaming.
Oh yeah, Ubisoft will always be first to anything.
No. My thing is, when the Blade streaming launches, Ubisoft will be there day one.
Oh yeah, with something. Yeah, I mean, Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Ragnarok is the perfect game. I mean, that's what Stadia did. Assassin's Creed Odyssey was their tech demo that they showed off. Assassin's Creed is the perfect game to showcase cloud gaming. That is, and I don't think
it's cool when I played it.
Yeah.
In Project Stream, but then stuff happened when it became Stadia.
Well, that's a whole different conversation.
My last prediction is, since we haven't really talked about Nintendo all that much, I got a Nintendo prediction.
Okay.
My last prediction: the Breath of the Wild 2, whatever the sequel is, will have a release date by the end of the year.
Actually, to be fair, it's been over 3 years now.
Let me clarify. Did not say it was launching this year. I said that it would have a release date announced by the end of this year. The prediction is that it will be in the spring of 2021. Because I think
it would be 4 years from the first one to launch.
Yes, because I think that it would give. I don't think that, even with the power of Zelda, I don't think they want to get involved in the console war that's about to happen in the fall. And I think that by putting it in the spring, it gives time for things to calm down. When maybe you shoot out your big games that you're showing off to showcase this power, you'll get a couple of smaller games in 2021. But I think early 2021, it's calmed down a little bit. Switch can kind of come back up and say, "Hey, don't forget about Zelda Breath of the Wild."
Do you think we will see an updated teaser for the fully rebooted project that was Metroid Prime 4?
When?
In E3. I said a teaser. No dates, no nothing. But you know how they had to stop production on it and bring it back to a different studio and restart it?
I think they're still working on it.
I'm just saying a teaser.
What is Nintendo
I agree.
doing
Even a
later
teaser.
this year?
We don't know.
What is Nintendo doing later this year?
They've played so much close to the chest, they're not telling anybody.
We're still expecting
We
some
never-
type of Nintendo Direct sometime
We never
soon.
got a January Direct. They always do that, but they did the Pokemon Direct. Which I guess the Pokemon expansions are coming, but
Yeah, but we don't know anything else.
yeah.
Palace Stream says release date announced at D3 for 2021.
Now, to be fair,
I'll take
they
it.
may just rely on indies most of this year, besides like maybe 1 or 2 big games. It wouldn't be outside of Nintendo to do that, and then just go swinging in
Y'all,
2021.
I just want Pokemon Soul Silver on the Nintendo Switch. Just bring that to the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, like one of the console
Yeah.
flashback games
Just
or whatever?
and honestly, if you want to go banana bonkers, just make Game Boy and Game Boy Advance part of the Nintendo Online, and make Pokemon Gold and Silver or Soul. Soul Silver is a DS, but like Pokemon Silver compatibility with Pokemon Bank. Ship it.
Wipe your hands.
All those games are trapped on 3DS. Get them off.
Well, not even
Send in the payload.
No, the other best part with all of that is if you go that route, you could bring Crystal version too.
Bring them on.
The Battle Tower,
Bring
man.
'em on.
Well, hey, let's be fair. The Game Boy and the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy Advance were essentially Super Nintendo Mobile and Nintendo Mobile.
Yeah.
And it was
So-
glorious. Glorious
It was
time.
glorious. The Game Boy Advance was itty baby boy, and the Game Boy Advance SP was way ahead of its time.
Palace Streams in chat says, I'd like to see a Let's Go version of Gold Silver. Just bring all the old Pokemon games to Switch. Okay.
I don't know about that.
But no, I think we are going to get a release date for Breath of the Wild 2 sometime this year, but it's not going to come out till 2021.
When are we getting the next year of Luigi?
Anyway,
I want to know.
2025.
I want to know.
2025.
it's not going to be anytime soon. I'll tell you that.
Sad.
Poor Luigi.
Well, guys, that's it for our topic of the show here, our 2020 predictions. Pretty good predictions all around, I think.
All right.
Can I make one more final bonus prediction?
Big bonus.
The PlayStation 5 will launch with Bloodborne 2. Please, dear God, give me Bloodborne 2. I need Bloodborne 2. I need it. I need it. Elden Ring will be great, but I want Bloodborne 2.
Okay.
Give it to me.
We'll see. We'll find out this year. Real soon.
Yep.
So, guys, that's it for topic of the show here on the Rocket Punch Show. What we're going to do now is if you're watching via Twitch, we're going to flip to a quick little just be right back screen. We're going to shuffle some people around and jump into our table talk here. The big topic of the show at Table Talk is going to be our Dragonball Z Kakarot impressions. Got Will on the deck with another one of our friends that has played the game very thoroughly. So if you have any questions about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, what we think about it, if it's worth purchasing, stay tuned. We're also going to be talking about just general games that we've played. If you want to be a part of that conversation, ask us questions. Like we said, stay tuned for Table Talk. We'll be right back in just a second. If I can click the right button, I'm pretty sure I can. Hang tight.
guess I should take this off the table because
Why?
it
What's wrong with
vibrates.
Broly?
I've learned. No, my phone.
No. Do you not see that these are suspended?
Well, I'm
Hello, everyone.
I'm not used to that. I got my lowly
All right.
mics.
So apologies there, folks. Had to do a quick shuffling around. So, whoa. All right, there we are. Cool. For those of you who don't know, this is a friend of the show. His name is Steven Sanders, a.k.a. Sanderspool. You may have seen him on Twitch. He is our local Broly enthusiast. I think that's the best way I can describe it. With the Broly shirt and everything. All right, perfect. He is much further along in Kakarot than I am.
Oh yeah. I wanted to roll credits before I came, but it was actually really hard to do that. So.
Well, I'm in the process of other things you haven't heard about yet. We'll show you the video afterwards.
Yes.
But yes, Kakarot.
Yes.
Do it, Broly.
Let's be fair. Dragon Ball Super Broly's Broly is better than OG Broly
Yes. As
by
the
like 10,000.
resident Super Broly fan, I 100% agree.
But we're not here to talk about Super Broly. We're here to talk about Kakarot and what we think so far.
Indeed.
So you're the guest. I'll let you go first.
Okay. So this is how far I've gotten on Kakarot. Last I checked, which was today, I was about 38 hours in.
Jesus.
I've just made it to, and I really wanted to get to Majin Vegeta. Spoilers: Majin Vegeta blowing himself up.
It's not a spoiler. The series stopped airing in the 90s.
Well, I know. So yeah. So he blows himself up, and I got to the next part where I could stop and came here. Well, I went to the Super Bowl, and then I came here.
Man, you went down to Miami for the Super Bowl? You fly fast, bro.
Yep.
Did you ride on Broly?
My speed and power is maximum.
And you guys all know who
good.
Cam is, obviously.
Yes.
I'm here.
There's a severe lack of Dragon Ball shirts. I know you both own them.
Don't even start.
Whoa.
It's been a long day.
I was also expecting a Goku statue and a Vegeta statue, but it's okay.
Look, my
it's
Vegeta
okay.
statue is guarding my Xbox
It
One
wouldn't
X
matter.
right now.
There
Look
you
at
go.
that. Look at that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even matter.
Nah.
His power is maximum. Anyway, so yeah.
No, my blue Gogeta statue would take him out.
I know if he killed him in the first 30 minutes, maybe, but then after that, you're screwed. So, where was it? Okay, so I'm fully 38 hours in, and I'm still only to that part of the Majin series.
Okay.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
Majin
Majin
Vegeta.
Vegeta blowing himself up.
Oh, man.
Which, by the way, if you want to play, there is an easy mode in Dragon Ball Kakarot, and that is get Vegeta, point him at bad guy, use Big Bang Attack, and then they're gone. It's the most broken attack in the game.
Really? Is that nuts?
It's an area of an effect attack as well, and it does a massive amount of damage. So right now, when I was training for the Buu fight with Majin Vegeta, I would just keep running into counters. I would drop one Big Bang, everyone's dead, whether it's 3 or 5 people, and move on until I got to level 70.
Big Bang Attack.
Yeah, so it's pretty much that. And then you unlock Super Big Bang Attack, and that's just more broken. So if you get Vegeta, set your super attack palette to Big Bang Attack for triangle or whatever, and then all the other 3 will also be Big Bang Attack. That's the only attack you need.
So you just make them all Big Bang Attack,
Yeah,
or
that's all you
Super
need.
Big Bang Attack.
That's all. I mean, if you want to get fancy with it, you can use other ones, but Big Bang is life. But yeah,
So it's Big Bang Bay.
Big Bang is Bay, for sure.
All
sure.
right.
Vegeta did not get the shaft in this game.
Oh man.
The Shaft King did not get shafted. But I've been loving the game.
Okay.
I could start out with the cons of the game that I've found so far, and on the pros.
Yeah, I mean, well, let me jump in real quick.
Go for it.
So those of you who don't know, I'm currently in the Goku Vegeta fight.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
You're
Wow,
early
you
on.
still okay?
Yeah, no, because of disorderly conduct, I have spent a lot of time on that.
Okay.
It's a thing you'll learn about here shortly.
Okay. Cool.
It's a new YouTube series that I'm working on.
You haven't seen the video, have you?
No,
I
he's
haven't
not.
seen any videos.
Okay.
Yeah, no. He was watching the Super Bowl, not watching us.
Yes.
I'm not mad.
Like the rest of.
Congrats to the Chiefs, by the way.
I was pulling for them.
Yeah, they actually earned it, so I'll take it. Yes.
They did. Pat Mahomes is crazy. Anyways.
Yes. So that's where I am. I think Gohan is broken compared to Piccolo.
Gohan's broken compared to many of the people in the game.
Yeah. No. But as a Gohan fan, I appreciate this.
Yes. No.
Yeah. No, I can't wait to have Gohan fight Frieza and put Frieza in the ground.
Mm.
So that's gonna be great. But no, yeah, that's kind of where I am, honestly. I love the fight system.
Oh, it's so good.
The fight system is excellent. You want to jump into your cons before I do?
So I got 3 major cons with the
Okay.
game. And I'm going to preface this. I love the game, so I want to start with the cons so we can end with the pros.
All right.
So my first con is going to be specifically free roam flight. And I think we've talked about this before.
We have.
You have, you know, say what you want about Anthem. Their flight mechanic is the best that's been in any game ever. As far as
Anthem?
in Anthem.
Yeah, I agree.
So all you had to do is copy that flight system. I get the bumper up elevation and delevation. That's not a word. Going up and down with the bumpers in a fight when you're like in that 3-dimensional space and you want to go up and down.
While still also having combat capability.
Right. I get that. But free roam, it doesn't make any sense. So at first, it was really hard to get a grip on the flying controls. But once I got it, it was like I got used to it. Like I'm fairly good at it. And I think actually, once you progress far enough in the game, collecting those Z orbs really doesn't matter. You get enough from killing people that it's like it gives you something to do on your way to different objectives, and it kind of, I think if they weren't there, the map would feel kind of empty. But I think the main purpose was when you're trying to follow those little paths, it's kind of like subtly teaching you how to fly a little bit better. So I think that I feel like that's really what those main purpose. Because other than that, you don't, after a certain point, you don't have to collect a single one. You'll get enough from fighting people. The prices of the upgrades really don't scale to how much that you're getting in. It's
okay.
I've yet to run out of Z orbs, and I don't actively go after them, except just something to do as you're darting back in between. So the flight mechanic and free roam, I give that I dock some points for that. What was I gonna say? I had 3. And now I'm only thinking of like the really big one that bothers me. So let me think. So this one, there are moments where I feel that the music is lacking, where it does not come up to par with the scene that you're.
So I can tell you why. They went with the original Kikuchi score.
I don't know what that means.
All right, so he is the audio designer and engineer for essentially Dragon Ball in Japan.
Okay.
After they found out Shuki Levy was stealing content from Western metal creators.
Okay.
Like, he was stealing riffs from Ozzy and some other people. So Shunsuke Kikuchi was actually, I believe, the guy, essentially, who took over for him.
Okay.
So he did... So, actually, funny story. That's why the Budokai 3 HD collection has the old Dragon Ball Z sounds instead of the original Budokai sounds.
Okay.
Because they got caught with pirated audio, essentially, and they had to redo all of it.
Okay.
So that was back in the days when they couldn't just patch the audio out with an update because it was on a PS2 disc.
Okay.
So the HD remake for Xbox 360 and PS3 got that treatment.
Okay.
Now, as far as that, Kikuchi is not something we grew up with. We grew up with Bruce Faulconer.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
And, well, in all fairness to the other guys, like, Kikuchi, awesome. Like, he's great for certain moments. Like, the moment in the Japanese anime when Gohan goes Super Saiyan 2.
Okay.
That music is infinitely better.
Okay.
However, the everyday music, Faulconer is 10 times better.
Right.
And so it's a shame that we can't use it. Right, Jack Wolfhart, you're correct. But it doesn't feel the same because it's not the music we're used to.
Right.
And that's the problem we're getting.
That's fair, because there's moments where, when Gohan is in the Kamehameha Blast battle between him and Cell, and it's like, okay, this music's okay, but it's not quite the epic-y that I remember it, and I don't know if I'm looking at it with rose-colored glasses or it sounds like what you're saying. We're not getting
it's different audio engineers, and that's the problem.
But that's and then kind of a second part of the music thing is there's some. I like that there's not as much of the fluff from the actual anime, but I feel like they shortened some scenes that they didn't need to shorten, like when Goku goes Super Saiyan for the first time. It happens like really quick, and I'm like. Like, you could drug out the scream a little bit, a little bit.
Especially, like, even in Kai, they gave that scene love.
Yeah, now, don't get me wrong. It's pretty. It's beautiful. But I was like kind of expecting some of the, like the long screaming and the hair going back and forth from like gold to black, and it's like he's really trying to get over it. But in the game, it kind of just looks like he just goes, bam, I'm Super Saiyan. I'm like, it didn't quite feel as satisfying.
Even in the manga, they had panels leading up to the full transformation.
So
I mean, that's fair.
So that's one of the things that there are some scenes that it felt like they shortened, or I don't know if nerfing the scene is the right way to say it, but you've gotten rid of enough of the fluff to where you can still extend some of these scenes. So now I'm kind of worried about when Goku goes Super Saiyan 3. I'll let you know how that goes. But
what you mean?
That scene needs to be a long scene, okay?
They don't need to have him do that scream again because of how much damage it does.
Yeah.
What they need to do is just pay him the same money and get the rights to use the pre-recorded scream from the anime.
That would be perfect.
Well, so background story for the American audience: the Super Saiyan 3 transformation scream in the Buu Saga actually made the voice actor for Goku, Sean Schemmel, pass out in the booth.
Wait. I think that's a rumor, and I think he confirmed that it wasn't that.
Are you sure?
There
was
one
article where he's saying like he did pass out in the booth.
He did pass out in the booth, but there was one interview I said it wasn't the Super Saiyan 3. It was another just completely innocuous scream, but he had like slept bad and he had not eaten well, and I think he passed out. But don't take that with a grain of salt because I'm not 100% sure.
Either way, screaming in Dragon Ball has made Sean Schemmel pass out in the booth.
There's plenty of other times where he's been absolutely, temple bursting, screaming.
Yeah.
I've tried it in my car. I can't do it.
Well,
I really have.
There to see
Has
that.
anyone else tried it? I've tried it. Like I've tried to be like, okay, like I'm alone now. I'm gonna try and say, "Comment." Wow, I sound like a bitch. Like I don't know how he does it, but it's a gift.
So one of the things that they do is they have a special tea they drink. They call like throat coat, and it's got stuff to help like cover up your throat as much as possible while you're doing that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna buy some of that.
You can't destroy your vocal cords totally, but it's real bad because some of them, like Chris Sabat has said that he is literally, they try to save the screams for near the end of the recording because they will lose their voice for days afterwards.
Oh man!
Wow, did not know that.
Putting their voices on the line for our entertainment. Heroes.
Oh wait, is that a Cash family in the stream?
Cash family sneaking in here.
Oh man, Cashy, how you doing?
Or is no. Palace Stream is just editing the command. I get it.
Oh, okay.
Whole lot nothing.
Oh, apologies, guys.
By the way, Cam, today you just cost me $250. So I just want you to know.
Hell, what'd I do?
Because I bought 2 of those freaking key
Why'd you get 2? Did you really need 2?
No, I don't need 2, but I want more than you.
So wait, you guys are having you guys are trying to one up each other on stream equipment? Is that what's happening?
Apparently.
But I can't afford another 4 monitors, so I'm gonna go with the cheap. I'm gonna get the key light.
Stick them where it acts here.
Hey, by the way, there's like more monitors in the closet too, right?
We're not gonna. If it's not out here, it doesn't count.
There's like at least 3 or 4 more in there. I got one in the back of my car right now, just chilling.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so I mean, like, I know one of the comments earlier, Jack Wolf Hart had said about the game, at least Kakarot. Where's it? Where are you? Nope. Game's good for fans, but it's a lot of wasted potential, in my opinion. Would you guys agree with that?
So I do agree with it because let me jump on a couple.
You got it.
So one of the things that I like about Dragon Ball games is telling the story, and so there's different ways you can approach that in a game medium that you can't in a manga or an anime. And one of the things that really kills me is some of the RPG elements, like the orbs. It's an added system you don't need to have. I think it would have been cooler to have like different collectibles to teach you in the first area of like, hey, go get these. Go get these. They're going to help you make these meals.
Yeah.
And then the meals, I like that system. I think that's cool because it gives you a reason to have Chi-Chi as like one of the mentor character cards.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that. The thing I'm not cool with is the random missions that it's like, oh, go here, beat this guy, now do this 400,000 times throughout the game.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not cool with that. That's annoying.
The repetition.
You've tapped into my third thing that I was gonna
jump.
Con. So I call them loading bar missions. So there are some missions where it's literally, talk to Korin and then go talk to Dende and then go talk to Mr. Popo and then they're in 3 different spots and you got to watch the loading bar 3 times in a row. Those are called loading bar missions to me. and they don't add much value to the game. And you're right, they are repetitive. It's kind of a go-do thing.
I was going to say, Rurutu in chat says it's a Japanese game. They have to add in 20 hours of unnecessary grind mechanics.
So you know where I would disagree with you on that, Rurutu? It's another game CyberConnect made. It's called Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. It's a fighting game. It happens to be telling the story of Naruto and that series. And I was able to play through that game. There was not a lot of grinding. It was you learning the fight mechanics and unlocking different characters. But at the same time, you're playing through the story. Right. And you have an overworld. And so you can kind of move around like old school Final Fantasy along the map. And then you fight these guys when you get there. That kind of thing. Yeah. And same development studio. And it worked so well for Naruto. I'm not saying do the same thing and copy-paste. Yeah. But because part of the cool thing of being in Dragon Ball, ever since Budokai 3, was flying around the world. And seeing the world from the game perspective. And that is something I think they do pretty well in this game, for that matter, is letting you fly around. Yeah. But I think the pointless missions, that's a real sore spot for me.
Right. I think they could have had more satisfying rewards for the missions. There are some that are somewhat satisfying. You get things that can enhance your people on the community board. Yeah. Things like that. Those are really valuable. But you're right. Those missions could have used some more variance. But I will disagree. I do think it's more than just a game. In my opinion, I think it's more than just a game for fans, because I see it as a great, very beautiful retelling of the original arc that won't take you like weeks upon
273 episodes to get through.
Yes, and you don't have to sit through the fluff. If you're someone who's new to Dragon Ball and just wanted a taste of it, I think this is a fantastic way to get your feet wet, because you get the main parts of the story and you don't have to deal with all of the fluff.
Now, I will say though, if you subscribe to Shonen Jump for $2 a month, you can just read the comic.
That's true. But if you want to play a video game and you want to actually do the fighting, it's the fighting system again is an absolute blast. And one of the pros that I think of the game for real is the fighting system.
Oh no, the fighting system is excellent. I love that. I do. There are parts I hate, like as an example, like the point in the series when you're Gohan running away. And you run into these kids, and you find out these kids want their freedom. They're orphans at an orphanage, and you have that whole story, and it's a little microcosm in the Dragon Ball world. Right. I think we were done a disservice by making that story go away entirely, and then they just have you meet Poir and beat up these shadow guys instead.
That's one of those times where they've taken a scene and condensed it when they didn't have to. It's more. I think it's more impactful than maybe necessarily not dragging out the Super Saiyan scene, but it's a whole part of the. The original anime they took out.
Well, and the part there is it helped Gohan build his character, why he wanted to fight. It wasn't just because he thought that his dad's friends were strong and they needed help. It was he wanted to fight to be able to protect those kids. Right. And that's one thing I feel like we do a disservice to some of these characters by taking that kind of motivation away. Yes. And so, good point. Poir is kind of a worthless character. She's a tag-along for Yamcha. And yes, she had some cool things in the original Dragon Ball series, but in Dragon Ball Z, she's like the plus one for Yamcha. Like, oh, hey, Yamcha's here. Oh, hey, there's Poir. Cool. Yep. That kind of thing. Oh, let's go hang out at Roshi's Island. We're hanging out at Bulma's. Poir's here hanging out with Oolong. Yeah. It's like, oh, man, I remember when Poir and Oolong were fighting back in the day. It's more like the nostalgia characters. Yeah. It's like, I remember that show, kind of thing, versus where we are now.
Jack Wolfheart in chat says, wait, does Goku get his license in this game? Haven't gotten there yet.
They actually do talk about him getting his license. So Chi-Chi brings it up, and she's like, you can go get a license so you can take us for a family drive. So that part is in the game. I've gotten that far.
Is in the game, confirmed.
Yes, they do include a lot of stuff. Like, for example, there's the line where it's like Vegeta sees Kid Trunks go Super Saiyan for the first time. He's just like jumping around the gravity room. He's like, was there a bargain sale? And Super Saiyan bargain sale. So it's weird how they've kept a lot of the lines that you wouldn't think were super big, but then they cut out it's over 9,000, which really bugs me. But I didn't see it in my game. So here's the thing. Unless I hit a skip button.
Here's the thing. Funny thing. It's originally over 8,000.
I know that. But it was still in the they could have just made it over 8,000. We could have dealt with that.
When I got to it, it's not there. I confirmed.
Yeah, it's not there. So that part bugged me. But But that's pretty much all my cons. Is there are some moments that, and I think you're right because of the way we grew up with it. The music doesn't feel as epic-y. The flying mechanics a little clunky, like at the beginning.
Well, so
and the loading bar missions.
For those of you who don't know me, my alarm every morning is Vegeta's theme from Bruce Faulconer. Like, I wake up to Vegeta's theme song every single day. That is how I wake up.
Of course you would.
Look. You can have your, like, chala hechala over there. But I'm saying, like, the fact that I can't even get, like, an option to switch to that soundtrack really actually thoroughly annoys me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, just write the man a check and move on.
Have I introduced you to the music genre that is Dragon Ball Z dubstep yet?
Oh, he's going to learn.
No.
I'm going to need about 6 minutes of your time after this.
That's okay. We need 22 minutes of your time after
I'm
this.
going to change your life. Okay, so that's pretty much my negative.
Rude too. What's wrong?
So what? When we talking about what you guys like about, so anything else you guys have to add for Kakarot?
Well, we haven't gotten to positives yet. Like,
we haven't got to positives. I don't know if you had negatives. You've not.
No,
bring them.
I think you guys have really hit on some of the negatives that I've seen so far. The music's fine for me. The repetition, I don't think they've utilized the open world as much as they could have. I think you guys touched on that. So,
yeah.
I mean, you guys are nailing it, especially you, Steven. You've almost beaten the game, so.
That's true. The first time I got it, I sat down and I played it for 12 hours nonstop. I think I got up for 2 bathroom breaks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
God bless you.
I feel bad for your bladder.
I got up for 2 bathroom breaks, and shout out to my beautiful wife Leah, who fed me and kept me supplied with adult beverages the whole time. So it was a great day.
Wait, yet another day that your wife has done something amazing for you, so you could enjoy Dragon Ball.
Yes, she is. That's the reason I locked her in.
All right, that's fair.
So
good thing you're gonna annoy her in D&D tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, that's not me. I don't. That's
someone
Cade.
else entirely.
That's Cade.
Oh, okay.
So what are some positives?
Okay, so
Let's go through some positives.
You're your guest. You get to go first.
we talked about this. I'm sorry, I'm totally jumping in.
Why?
I feel like I'm a rude guest.
Wait, we asked you to be here. How was that rude?
I know.
We did.
So the retelling of the story in an incredibly beautiful fashion, that art style is amazing. And I will say, the scene where Majin Vegeta blows himself up, holy crap did they do. They
did that one justice.
They did that one justice, because I've been like, okay, everything's pretty like throughout the thing, like Cell and Gohan, and I think my second favorite moment is actually the clash between Goku and Vegeta when they do the Gallic Gun and then like smash together. But
that is an iconic scene.
That one looks absolutely beautiful, and Gohan transforming in the Kamehameha and the Father Son Kamehameha looks all the recreated scene look amazing, but Majin Vegeta's explosion was the first one, and to be fair, it gave me goosebumps in the series, but it's the first one that re-gave me goosebumps playing the game, because just the way they work the camera and the animation, and it's man, it's so good. It's so good.
It's almost like Vegeta has a proper character arc.
He best character development in the series, probably.
Ever since he's introduced, he actually does have the best story.
I would say so.
Vegeta?
Yeah. Hands down, because he actually has a proper negative redemption arc.
Yeah.
Then he has a heroic fall arc, and then a redemption at the end.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, by the way, you get to play as Majin Vegeta for a short time after you knock out Kakarot. So, and he's OP. Again, he's got Majin powers, and he's Super Saiyan 2. Again, Big Bang, problem's gone. So...
it's almost like they figured, hey, people love Vegeta. If we don't do this right, we're going to get hate.
Oh yeah. And I mean, Goku's super strong. He's got Kaioken, which the other guys don't have that transformation. And Gohan's got his Dragon Fist, which is almost a one-hit kill every time. But again, Big Bang, you can wipe the map. So Vegeta so far is the most OP character in the game as far as I've played.
Okay, fair.
But the animations are great. I love the community board mechanic. It's one of my... So, I think it would be more rewarding even for the side missions if you were almost guaranteed a community board token, because when I do get those, I'm very satisfied, because I'm like, I have a new token that I can invest these items into. I can try and place them on the map and get these new bonuses. I'm working really hard to get my training up so I can get the 100% XP bonus and things like that. But I do really love the community board in the way that you can you can kind of work those different systems to try and increase your cooking or increase your god skill, and you get different benefits across the board. Go ahead.
Did you say God skill?
It's the god proficiency. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Have you not got there yet?
I don't remember that, or because the only one I saw with a god was King Kai.
So Mr. Popo is the leader for the god
Okay.
board. So you got the Z Warriors, you got cooking, you got training, you got God, you got development, and then you got adventure. So there's 6, right?
Yes.
And adventure is Yajirobe, which is hilarious. I love that they made him the leader for one.
Why did they put Yajirobe on there?
I don't know.
Because he's worth less than Poir.
What does the God board do again? What do you get? What are you about
That
to say?
one, I believe, has to do a lot with like villainous Z orbs. So, and the villainous characters I love, by the way, and I think that's a great mechanic. So villainous are basically enemies that they'll pop onto the board that are leagues above you in level.
I forgot
to warn you about.
And then I got murdered.
They will mollywop you if you're not ready. Now, based on skill level and how prepared you are with your meal prep and your healing items, as soon as they drop those villainous enemies, even though you're probably 15 levels below them, you can fight them and you can win if you're good enough. I've gone up to them and beat them. It takes a little bit of time, so it's kind of cool. You could totally go after them right away, and if you just got the skill, and you'll get a crap load of XP. But if not, you can just come back to them later in the story. And every time you clear an area of all of its villainous groups, a new group comes up that's even stronger. And it builds up to one last fight that's like the most powerful villainous thing for that area. And so like you take him out, and then you see the first time you clear it, I feel like I'm going to spoil something in the game. Can I talk about it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so you see Tawa.
Who?
Tawa? I'm pretty sure it's Tawa. The time traveling chick. She's blue.
Oh, from Xenoverse.
From Xenoverse. And she's like, you beat him, and she's got this little thing in her hand, and she's like, yes, the power's growing, or something like that. So there's obviously some type of end game that's being built up from killing the villainous enemies, which is pretty
interesting.
Which is pretty neat.
Okay.
So there's another kind of weird story going on in the background of the villainous, and I think they keep those levels so far away so that there is some end game. I haven't got to the end game yet, I've tried not to look too deep into it. But there appears to be some kind of end game. I've seen people who are fighting bad guys, villainous enemies that are upwards of level 180. I've seen people with their own personal characters who are like 100, well over 100. I saw a post where someone hit a 999 combo against a 180 Majin Buu or something like that. Like there's some kind of end game. Someone's mentioned a time machine mechanic. So I'm very curious to see what goes on.
Interesting.
In the end game.
Without spoiling it, apparently, because I have seen clips here and there on the internet, looking at the game, there is apparently at one point a Ultra Instinct Omen somewhere.
So that's good because it seems like they're definitely building to keep it running into Super. I think so. And
which would be interesting because then if you do DLC drops, essentially you could run it all the way through Super.
Yep. You could run it through Super, and then you could just do the movies as DLCs.
You could do the movies as DLCs.
Lots of content.
You could time travel if there's a time machine mechanic and go back to original Dragon Ball and do Pilaf Gang all the way forward.
Yep.
Yeah.
You could do the Demon King Piccolo arc. Which would be interesting is if you could time travel and go to Planet Vegeta before Frieza blew it up and do the Bardock episode of Bardock story.
Oh, yeah. And you've picked up on it, too, when you were playing the big tree that's in the middle of the plains. So
that looked like the remnants of the Tree of Might is what it looked like.
So I think they're not hiding the fact that there's going to be some stuff. So
and there's like, once you go under it, it's like you lose all your energy.
Okay.
And I was literally playing around in there. I'm like, what the heck is this? I was like shooting key blasts into it, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Jack Wolfhart in chat says, nope, you missed adult in regards to the boards earlier. And then Rurutu says...
adult, that's right.
Rurutu says, cooking anime is popular now. Yajirobe is getting those audiences. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, they should have. You should have been able to choose between Chi-Chi or Yajirobe, and if you went Chi-Chi, you get different bonuses than Yajirobe would get.
That's true.
That would have been cool.
But they already had burned Chi-Chi for the cooking board, so...
Yeah,
I mean, Yajirobe had to do the adventure, so...
She's the only one, I think, who can give you the super big meals.
Yes, the super big meals that give you... So I like the cooking mechanic. I like that food will give you both a temporary bonus and a permanent bonus, so that when you eat them, there's lasting effects the more that you eat and do that preparation. And it's very rewarding. Like, I found... And I wasn't doing this for the first, 30 hours of the game. Fly around. There will be people who say, man, I wish I could share this recipe with somebody, and you just have to fly down and talk to them, and they'll give you a new recipe that gives you brand new bonuses that I didn't even know about.
I didn't know about that.
So talk to the people who have little yellow highlighted words in there. They will usually give you stuff.
Well, and then you'll see guys yelling, "Oh man, there's great hunting over here!"
Oh yeah, and that basically guarantees there'll be a golden animal, or there'll be a really rare meteorite there, which you can use to upgrade things like the training room, which I love. Another positive. I love the training room. You haven't gotten to the training room.
Yeah, that's fine.
So the training room eventually. Oh, and so they build they have a training room mechanic. And it gets built by
Dr. Briefs.
Yeah, well, Dr. Briefs, but it's run by I can't remember what they call her, but it's Android 21 is in the game.
Oh,
yeah, she's in the lab. And what's cool is when you unlock the training room, every area you go to, you see Android 21 chilling, going, not here. She's looking for something, and you're like, you're up to something, Android 21.
You are.
But you get the training room. The training room unlocks these really powerful kind of passive abilities. I think one of the first ones you get is you can increase your damage by 20%, but your health goes down by small amounts ongoing during the fight. And then you can upgrade that further, and I've got mine up to you do 40% more damage, but I lose health constantly during the fight. And you can get those in the training room fights, which, by the way... Hey!
Oh.
Palace!
Man, Palace, that's awesome. Thank you, dude.
Thank you for the gifted sub.
It was for the Broly, wasn't it? You don't have to answer. We can just assume. It's good.
I'm trying to look her name up right now because,
What do they call her? Because I know she doesn't just straight up go by Android 21.
I don't remember. I didn't get that far in the...
funny enough. No, they're just calling her Niju Ichigo. Which is 21.
She has a name in the game, and she runs that component of it. And those matches are actually the hardest matches in the game for me because they throw 3 bosses at you, and they do not hold back. They will spam their super attacks at you.
Okay.
So the level recommendation is more of a requirement.
Yeah, that's...
Interesting.
Just 21.
Yep, she's in there running the fighting room. So I do like a lot of the other mechanics. I like the community board. I love the training room system. I like how you learn moves, but they probably could have had some of those be side quests that would have probably improved the whole side mission thing.
Yeah.
The combat system again. I love the support system in the combat. I love bringing Krillin along and having him do a solar flare, and everyone's just totally locked up, so I can just have my way with everybody. Usually, there was one where I was flying around and it was solar flare, everyone's stuck together, Big Bang with Vegeta. Solar flare, Big Bang with Vegeta. And then the Z combos are amazing. Have you done a Z combo yet?
I have.
Yes, Z combos are, once all your support meters are full, you do the
both bumpers
together, and all 3 of your guys come together, and they super attack everybody together. It's pretty awesome.
So imagine triple Kamehameha, that kind of thing.
I haven't done that yet. I'll have to do that.
So yeah, that's really dope. So I love the combat. Ever since Battle of Z, they've been stuck on this 3-dimensional combat, and they finally nailed it.
Oh yeah.
And I think it took CyberConnect with their Ninja Storm experience to actually do it right.
I've had a blast. I've gotten the hang of it. My combo record right now I think is somewhere 129, which I think is plebe numbers compared to some people.
Well, yeah. Well, that's fair.
But
Jesus.
I love the support system because depending on who you have, Vegeta's great about when you finish a combo and you send him flying, sometimes Vegeta will pop up for an assist and he'll volley the guy right back to you so that you can pick up your combo right where you left off and just keep hammering the person. I absolutely love that.
All right, cool.
And then sometimes unprompted they'll drop their super. So I'm just fighting, all of a sudden Vegeta drops a Gallic gun, and he doesn't even have that like set on his super attack palette as a support character. He's just like, I'm gonna drop a Gallic gun for you, and it doesn't use up their super attack. Like they use their super attack, and then they can't use it for a certain amount of seconds. But I really enjoy the combat and the support system. I really like that when you gain experience, it applies to your party, but it gives a small amount to all the characters in the game, so that they're all kind of leveling with you a little bit.
Gotcha.
So you don't have to worry about, I gotta grind with every single character. Everyone's kind of getting boosted a little bit, which is nice.
So it's like having the XP share all turned on.
Yes. The ones in your party do get more than everybody else, but you're not going to just leave Piccolo at level 20 because you don't want to play with Piccolo. So it's kind of
Which, if you don't play with Piccolo, you're a fool of a took.
Oh, yeah, you are. Special beam cannon, baby.
Oh, especially when you get like that special boosted mode and you can just spam it.
Oh, yeah. I've unlocked his transformation, too. True Namekian.
Which is that's awesome. What they call it?
Yeah, True Namekian.
All right, that's better than Kamikalo Fusion or whatever one of the games called it.
And I just unlocked a Hellzone grenade for him, which is like Big Bang for Piccolo. That one's actually kind of broken.
Okay.
I've been looking in the skill tree. There's definitely some definite end game there. I don't know what it's going to be like, but like for Trunks' skill tree, when you got to play as him, and obviously he's not going to come back until after some of the end game, but there was like a whole skill tree that he had left. One of his transformations was called Full Tilt, which I'm very excited to see what that is, because I'm pretty sure it's just Trunks going pure rage mode.
Oh, what if they're saving that for the Super Saiyan Berserk?
That's
could be it.
That's what I'm hoping, man. Like, so I'm excited about the end game, because from what I can tell, once you get to the end game, you get a much wider palette of characters for your party and can fly around. But I think maybe the focus is the villainous characters. I don't know. When I get there, I'll find out. So
cool.
We'll find out how it goes. I think if I was going to give like the game a rating right now without going to the end game, I'd probably give it like a 7.5.
Okay, so what is that on?
Out of 5.
Out of 10.
7.5 out of 10. What's that on the Rockman scale?
That's
3.5.
We do whole hearts.
We do whole hearts.
With the,
we do half hearts. Yeah, right.
With the caveats of, if the end game's pretty good, I would give it like an extra bump at 5 points, like, because I haven't gotten there yet. And then, if they introduce Broly as DLC, they will get a plus 10. And then if they let you play as Broly, they will get another plus 10.
So what, you're going to say 30 out of 10?
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I meant to say if Broly's in there, I'll give him a 1 to move him up to like a 9 or a 10. But if you can play as Broly, you'll get it'll get a 20 out of. If you can play as this Broly, right here,
Super Broly,
I will never play any other mode. My Broly will be level 999, and I will continue to play the game.
Power will do
now, if only they would make a Dragon Ball game that had the Disgaea leveling system in it, so you get to 9,999 and then resurrect and keep the stats, and then just do it again.
That would be wild. That would be wild.
Sanderspool would have probably done like 10 resurrections or something by now. That would be my guess for you. You'd just be like, no, we're going all the way. We're going back, Morty.
Oh yeah. So, and I'm excited. They've announced some stuff about, I guess, what are they calling it, season 1, or there's some stuff coming out, and they've alluded they've already got a season 2 planned. So, and they've mentioned somebody data mined it and found mentions of Broly. So,
he's coming.
Oh no. A very popular character that sells out movie theaters. We'll never put him in the game.
But I think, like, what I'm curious to do, will they introduce old Broly as some DLC to do like the movie stuff, and then work through Super through the seasons, and then finally let you become the true Broly?
Now, the cool thing is, could the true Broly fight old Broly and make it like...
You know what? I'm not going to put it past them because of the villainous enemy system, because they bring back your old enemies. So wouldn't it be cool if you could be new Broly and fight villainous version of old Broly? That would be great. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Okay.
And really what would happen is their power levels would just grow until the game exploded. And then you're done playing Kakarot. You can go back to play Modern Warfare.
Rutu says, but what if Broly had Tom Hardy doing Bane's voice?
Bring Vic back?
I will say, I don't know. That's the voice where it's like,
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that for Broly.
Will you have my permission to die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if there's... I don't know if I've ever been truly satisfied with the voice of Broly, but I am satisfied with the character of Broly, you know? I think Vic does a good job.
Yeah, I like Vic as Broly, but despite all the drama BS and the stuff, I like the characters he's played.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those where it's like, yeah, man, gonna be honest. At this point, I don't know who fills in the shoes.
I don't know either. I
it
hope
can't be
it's good.
Sabat because, like, he's done too many Dragon Ball voices.
Eventually, there's going to be a movie where they just roll credits and it's Chris Sabat, and then that's the end. At least for voice actors.
Yeah.
Okay, and I know especially one thing we're reserving judgment on your final verdict once we get the review of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Yeah, I got to get further in the game and I got to get more thoughts down.
Yeah. So once that review is ready, we'll give that out. It'll be on YouTube. It'll also be on our website over at rocketpunchgo.com when we get that rolling up. Hopefully by the time you're listening to this on archive, it should be up already there. So stay tuned for Will's thoughts on that game. Is that it? Anything else, guys?
I mean, if you want me to just talk about how much I love the game, we'll be here all night. So I do love the game, even with a 7.5. So
I do have to say, if you are willing to be on an unfiltered version of disorderly conduct, and I'll explain what that is later.
Are you asking me this or them this?
You.
Oh, you're asking me this. Okay.
Yes. You. You are always welcome. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
It is open to select friends of the show.
Oh, cool. I'm a select friend.
You're the guy in the middle.
Heck yeah.
I mean, we did invite you on the show to talk about Dragon Ball.
I'm the guy in the middle. I will always come on the show to talk about Dragon Ball.
But guys, that's it.
Yep.
That's going to be a break for episode 1 of the Rocket Punch Show.
Yeah.
We did it. We
Episode 1?
Episode 1. See, he hasn't.
He has
I have no idea what's happened.
He hasn't seen the video yet, so we're going to let him watch the video off mic. But for you guys who've been listening in, if you missed any of the big announcements we talked about, head over to our YouTube page, youtube.com/rocketpunchgo. We'll have all of the videos, the full video in its entirety if you want to watch how it went, or we'll also have all the big announcements broken out for you, so that way you can kind of pick and choose and see what you want to listen to first. There, hang out with us here. We've got an exciting 2020. We've got a lot of stuff planned for you guys here. We're really excited about it, and we really thank you guys, as we always do, or at least try to, for your continued support in helping us continue Rocket Punch and make awesome stuff for you.
With that, do you want to do a raid?
Yes.
Wait, can I mention something to these guys
Go ahead.
before?
Yeah.
So I just want to mention. I'm not trying to plug myself.
No, you are actually allowed to plug yourself.
Well, I want to plug this first. I want to give you guys a little bit of background on Mr. C. Kearns. He's got a picture of his wife on his keyboard, like freaking Goose in Top Gun right now, which is so awesome. So I just imagine that Cam sometimes when he's having like a bad Destiny game just looks down and goes, "I do it for you, babe," and then just gets up and goes ham. But yeah, that's amazing. If you didn't know that,
Sure, something
I'm
like
calling
that.
you. I'm throwing that out there.
Something like that.
I don't know if that's going to be a secret.
It's right near the volume roller on the keyboard, so it's literally WASD, mouse, Cam's wife.
It's adorable. I love it so much.
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe that's the reason I have it on
Yeah.
there.
That's
Or maybe, it's just the fact that you were willing to marry her.
No.
So, yeah.
While Will's getting us ready, he's going to pick somebody for us to raid here. So if you're watching via Twitch, don't go anywhere. Steve, give us plug yourself.
Plug myself.
You're a streamer.
I am a streamer. It's a hobby. I like to just throw money down the money pit and do it, and I like playing games. And it gives me a justification to play games on a regular schedule. But if you want to stop by and hang out and talk to me, we can talk and we can joke. And I usually stream Saturday and Sunday mornings, like, kind of morning cartoons on the weekend, and Tuesday and Thursday nights.
And where can they find you?
I am twitch.tv/Sanderspool for my Twitch channel. And on Twitter, you can find me at SanderspoolCC. That's Charlie. And on Instagram, SanderspoolCC. And And I have a podcast. I don't know if I should bring it up here.
No, yeah, please.
So, okay, I'm on a podcast as well that's not video game related. If any of you are fans of the old Friends TV show, we do a podcast on the Friends TV show where we talk about how it's affected our lives and how we relate to the show, and we go through episode by episode. Cutting my teeth on that. We're learning a lot, so it's
What's
a blast.
the name of the podcast?
And the name of the podcast is Friends Like Us. So you can find us on all of your podcasting platforms like Spotify and iTunes. You want to look for FLU : Friends Like Us, because there's another Friends Like Us podcast. But that's not us. This one's about friends. And we talk and we joke. And you can also find us on Twitter at Friends Like Us P1.
And we have actually retweeted some of the content under the official Rocket Punch thing, so you can also hit our Twitter if you can't remember how to spell that, and just look for the retweet.
And we greatly appreciate that. We do.
I was like, oh, Sanders, yes.
Yes. Thank
So,
you.
for people who are watching in Twitch, don't go anywhere. We're going to throw a raid to one of our friends, looks like over in
The Stream Alabama.
Stream Alabama group here, so hang tight here. But if you're listening via podcast services,
Say it, man.
just wanted to say thank you guys so much again for your continued support. We hope you're excited about 2020 here at Rocket Punch as we are. And until then, we'll talk to everyone later.